Yeah, she was like, Sydney, you want to read my book with me? And then Sydney was like, I gotta finish this one first. And then
For some
when she was
kids, the
like, you
crisis
don't have
line
to
is the
read the
only place they can
words.
get help with family issues,
But
school problems, and
that
questions about sex. Their identities are kept secret, so they feel okay about speaking intimately.
Beautiful women are waiting to talk to you now.
Yeah. It could be the most satisfying school experience you'll have. Any volunteers to work the phones? Beavis and Butthead. What a nice surprise. Yeah. Now remember, the kids who call are in pain. They need a friend. Someone who will just listen.
You had to
To
be
their
there,
private
dude.
fantasies.
You had to be there, bro.
The most important thing they need is compassion without judgment, okay? I know you fellas will be great. Oh, and guys, try to make a conscious effort to be more polite, okay? Especially to the women.
Hello?
I mean, that's what they forget too. It wasn't just Beavis and Butthead, dude. That was just one thing on TV with a shit ton of like
Hey, Beavis, this chick's flat.
Star Wars was still good, D&D was still good. No, like music was good at the time. Like
Sometimes I wet the bed. Is that like normal? What happens when I get married?
when was SpongeBob? I think it's before Beavis and they're before SpongeBob, but like
Stuart, what a
you
wiener.
ask,
hey, you need to
Stuart wets
ask your
his
mom.
bed. Da-da. Stuart wets his bed.
you asked when we were
Da-da.
outside. Well, I was distracted. I don't remember that.
Hello?
Well, I don't.
Hello?
Ask your mom.
Well, my boyfriend is like, so rude. I mean,
You can
he's like
have 10
pressuring me
minutes.
to put
That's
out
it.
and all,
Just a
but
little
I'm
bit.
not sure if I'm ready for sex.
But when is Beavis and Butthead? Like
I
Ren and
advise you to
Stimpy
put
time?
out. That would be
Yeah,
cool.
probably.
Around that time, it's
Well,
late
Early
90s, mid
mid
late
90s.
90s.
Oh,
No, they were at least mid
yeah.
90s.
Until tomorrow.
what are you talking about?
Yeah. You, need someone better.
Oh, that was
Someone
vicious.
who's
My
like,
entire gang is chasing this cop down.
polite and stuff.
Yeah, that's us. Yeah. I may help you. Yeah.
You should put
Yeah.
out to someone you meet at school tomorrow who's
1993.
polite.
Yeah, I'm not even out of high school yet. Well, yeah, I am. Graduating 90. So yeah, I'm in my 20s, early 20s.
Yeah, I was like, no, it was at least mid 90s because I know I was in high school when they were.
So yeah, that was just one thing on TV, dude. All right.
The United States, with the 2010 Supreme Court ruling Citizens United, bizarrely defines unlimited dark money pumped into political campaigns as a form of free speech, legalized bribery. Alex Gibney, in his new documentary, The Dark Money Game, examines how billions of untraceable dollars, outside groups have spent more than $4.4 billion in federal elections, almost $1 billion of which was dark money, have been pumped into the political system and the courts to protect the predatory activities of corporations and block healthcare
I don't know what to
reform,
do. Just not
gun
fucking
control,
trust it,
and
dude.
environmental controls to confront the climate crisis.
GTA.
The infusion of
I
dark
don't know
money
how to
has not
avoid
only
other
given
cars hitting me,
tremendous
dude. I've
power
played
to
this game for
billionaire
over
class
100
and
hours now.
eviscerated our democracy.
I don't
The
know what
films
to do
inspired
to
by James
avoid other
Joyce's
cars
book,
slamming the fuck
Money,
into me,
The
dude.
Hidden History of the Billionaires Behind the Rise of the Radical Right, focus
I've
in
even
the
tried
first
to be
film of
legal,
highly
but you
coincidental
can't. The game
on
will
a
crawl.
bribery scandal in the
No, the
tens of
cars will
millions
go
of
slower than you
dollars
can
in the
run,
state
dude.
of Ohio.
Yep.
The second film, Wealth of the Wicked, looks at the corruption of the courts, especially the Supreme Court, which passes laws demanded by the wealthy and corporations. The result is the authoritarianism of Donald Trump, who promises mendaciously to drain the swamp, and a crony capitalism that mirrors that of Vladimir Putin's Russia, Viktor Orban's Hungary, and Narendra Modi's India. The Justice Department and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, once
All right.
tasked with
I am
enforcing
at
the law, now refuse to enforce the rulings of a
I'm
handful
like
of
at
judges
51,
seeking to roll back
dude.
the
No, I'm
tide
at
of
50,
despotism.
51,
Films lay out how
52.
we got here, from the 1971 Lewis
So
Powell
yeah,
memo,
everything
the
south of
blueprint
me
for
should
our
be taken.
corporate coup d'etat, to the rise of the Federalist
This should
Society
be
and
taken.
the
Yeah,
unholy alliance between the
because
billionaire
this is
class
50.
and the Christian right. Joining me to discuss
I
the
got
dark
48,
money
49.
game
Yeah.
is Alex
So I need to
Gibbs.
take this
They're great films,
territory.
both of them. And as I said before we went on the air, the second one, even though I had written a book on the Christian right, there was stuff in there that I didn't understand that you got. The system was
Yeah,
corrupt
44,
already before
46.
2010. The Clintons
99's
had
down
basically
below. Oh,
sold
that's why, because
out
99's
the
down
Democratic
here.
Party to
That's the
corporate
airport,
interests.
though.
But
100.
what you're
We should
chronicling
probably
is
take that.
something something completely new, and that is untraceable money. One of the things I found fascinating about the first of the two films is the labyrinth by which dark money is transferred to candidates to do the bidding, in this case, a nuclear power company, First
53.
Energy. But even the FBI, with all of their tools, has tremendous difficulty in finding the source.
Yeah, we
Let's
got
just
52
define for
already.
us what the 2010
We're on
ruling did, because
53, bro.
Roberts actually, from the film, I think
53.
overstepped what the actual
We're
ruling
about to
was
go to
supposed to enforce,
54.
and then lay out how you define dark money and how it works, especially with these PACs.
Well,
54 is right here.
the Citizens United decision basically
So let's take that. Let's go take
you
that.
know, made it possible for corporations and unions. I put unions in quotes because they're so much less powerful than the corporations, to pour unlimited amounts of money into the campaign process under the guise of free speech. Now, there was one check or balance in this ruling, which was you're supposed to only be able to give it to independent organizations like super PACs that could have it, and so long as they didn't coordinate directly with the candidate, which
that's
is a
54.
kind of a joke,
We're at
really.
54,
But so long as they
dude.
didn't coordinate directly with the candidate, in theory, it would not be to corruption. That floodgate opening has really changed everything, because now the amounts of money are so vast that 90%, I believe it's 90% of elections are won by the candidate who spends the most money. So it means that money rules. Now, the dark part of it is interesting because, you know, originally the idea was, or the rationalization was, that if you put money in the super PAC, you can see where it comes from. So sunlight, you can see that, you know, General Motors has poured blah, blah, however many hundreds of millions of dollars into a super PAC. But what the dark money groups learned, and particularly people who didn't want to take the political flack for trying to say ending environmental controls, or Big Pharma didn't want to take the flack for trying to goose pharmaceutical prices, is that you could donate money to a 501c4, which is a not-for-profit organization whose donors can't be penetrated by public inquiry. So you donate to a 501c4, the 501c4 gives to the super PAC, and lo and behold, you don't know where the money's coming from.
And these were, I mean, if you have a point in the film where you have like all these threads from all these boxes, we're not talking about one 501c4. We're talking, it's a kind of house of mirrors.
Right. That's the job. I mean, it's not unlike what the Sinaloa cartel does, which is what one of the prosecutors in Ohio told us. You know, the whole job is to hide the money, right? And so you can have a 501c4, which gives to another 501c4, which gives to a super PAC, which then gives to a 501c4. A whole bunch of interlocking entities, not to mention, you know, you create these corporations who have one function, which then own another corporation, which has another function. So it's a labyrinth of mirrors in terms of hiding the source of the money.
Well, you're interviewing, I believe, an FBI agent in the film, and they talk about how that they really found out. We'll talk about the corruption case in Ohio, over $16 million corrupt money. But they said there's so much out there, and they stumbled onto what happened in Ohio by accident.
That's right.
And that, you know, there's vast amounts of money floating around out there that they can't even see.
That's right. I mean, in Ohio, the corruption case was successfully prosecuted. The Speaker of the House, Larry Householder, who was at the center of the ring, did go to jail, as did another gentleman who was involved in conspiracy. But that's extremely rare. And it's extremely rare because the Supreme Court has made it very difficult to prosecute these kind of crimes. And also because of the dark money, it's very hard to see where the money's coming from to know whether or how you should prosecute. In this case, the federal agents had gotten a permission to wiretap somebody as a result, to inquire into a potential gambling crime. While those wiretaps were active, they heard the voice of a man named Neil Clark, who was a lobbyist in Ohio. And he started bragging about this kind of quid pro quo that they were running with First Energy, this energy company. And so the agents stumbled into a much, much bigger case, which they were then able to follow the trail of, initially mostly through wiretaps and body wires from, agents.
So let's explain how it works. You do make a point in the film, both you and Jane, of saying this is hardly restricted to the Republican Party. I live in New Jersey. George Norcross, the political boss, is now on trial for a very similar situation to Ohio. Let's explain how it works. So there was what First Energy was a nuclear power facility. They wanted a state bailout. I love the names. It's all out of Orwell. What was it called? The Clean Energy for Ohio bill or something.
That's right.
But explain how it worked, how the system, which you do a tremendous job of showing in the film, but explain how it works. The quid pro quo, the pay for play.
So
and also the ruthlessness of it. These people are ruthless if you challenge them, as Norcross is.
Well, and one of the great things about the wiretaps is you can hear what people say in private and how ruthless they are. And
which is in the film,
how willing they are to go after people. So that was for a filmmaker, that was the benefit of this. Anyway, here's the way it worked. First Energy was a failing power company. In fact, it had fallen into bankruptcy. They were in terrible shape. What they did was they dropped $60 million into a dark money slush fund, a 501c4 slush fund, which was...
Alex, I have to interrupt you because isn't it one of the FBI agents that somebody says they said, it must be a mistake. It must be $6 million.
Yeah. One of the reporters, one of the great...
It was a reporter, right.
Reporters in Ohio, Laura Bischoff, so when she first heard $60 million, she thought, well, that can't be right. Nobody would spend, but she thought they had gotten, a decimal point wrong. But no, it was 60 million, 60. They had dropped into this 501c4, which was to be used at the direction of a guy named Larry Householder, who was a member of the Ohio House of Representatives. He initially used the money to fund a brass knuckles campaign to become Speaker of the House. And in so doing, of course, he got a lot of people who owed him big time. And so he insisted they pay him back by ramming through a bill called HB 6, which had been written prior to the $60 million changing hands by the First Energy Corporation. And lo and behold, that bill gave First Energy $1.3 billion. So if you're looking at it from a return of investment standpoint, it's pretty good. You drop $60 million into a slush fund, you get back $1.3 billion off the backs of the taxpayers of Ohio. So that's what happened. But then in addition, some of the brass knuckles tactics are revealed. They passed this bill, and by the way, that bill, a lot of that bill is still in effect, even though, the two of the people who put it there were put in prison for their corrupt activity. So then there was a citizens group who was so appalled by this bill that they started a signature collection campaign, because in Ohio, with a referendum, you can overturn bills that have been passed through the legislature. So they did, but then Householder had this, all this money to spend, and he began to start muscling the signature collectors. And he began buying up signature collection companies and asking them to stand down. And then for other signature collectors, he would literally pay them to leave the state so that they wouldn't be collecting signatures. So, and representatives who objected, he literally threatened them. So they're using these brass knuckles tactics in order to get people to stand down, and they're using it with the money that they'd gotten from First Energy. So it's pretty interesting. And one of the stories in the film relates to a whistleblower named Tyler Furman, who was a dyed-in-the-wool young Republican, who nevertheless, as a traditional conservative Republican, objected to the idea of a kind of state-sponsored bailout of a failing company, the kind of thing the Republicans used to object to as crony capitalism. He objected to it, so he was on the side of the signature collectors. And then he gets approached
Right over
by
here, I'm
an
on
old pal of
54.
his who's now working for Householder to say, how'd you like to spy on those folks that you're working with now? And he initially says, absolutely not. But then he reports it to the FBI, and the FBI says, no, go back and tell them you will do it. And then they put a body wire and a phone tap on Tyler, and ultimately they were able to get extraordinary evidence from this guy, Matt Borges, who was part of the conspiracy to defraud the state of Ohio.
Yeah, and of course it's money. Where they give him $15,000 cash or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was paying Tyler to betray his pals, and Tyler was willing to do it because he was an informant now for the FBI, and ultimately revealing much of how the case worked. And I think a lot of Tyler's evidence was hugely useful at trial because it's
So this money goes into negative advertising, which turns out to be quite effective. They saturate the airwaves. First of all, they promote it, we should be clear, as a clean energy bill. And, if you want clean air, make sure you vote for
failing nuclear power plant, which, by the way, part of the bill was to shut down all of this wind power. So and to actually subsidize some coal companies. So you couldn't ask for a dirtier clean energy bill than this one.
But the problem is the opponents don't have those resources
No.
by which they can counter the smears.
That's right.
And the dirty tactics they use to go after people who oppose the bill. I mean, there was a scene in there. It was a guy had left a bar. He was running for the legislature, and he'd had one beer or something. So they stopped him. He wasn't drunk, but they just twisted that into this. You show the ad in the film. They smeared it. They destroyed it.
We saw the body cam footage. He had to do a sobriety test. He passed it, but they didn't mention that in the ad.
Yeah.
And of course, that was one of the few swing districts in Ohio. Ohio's a terribly gerrymandered state, but I think he lost by a handful of votes. But a lot of the money behind the negative campaigning for this, Christian nationalist opponent of his, it came from First Energy. So that was one of the ways that they were
Guys,
the whole
ouch,
system.
guys.
Make sure to run against people who are vulnerable.
Ouch.
Get them out
No,
of
that
office,
hurt
make sure
just a
to,
little bit.
Fill
Just
up
a little bit.
campaign coffers of some
That
of their
hurt
allies
just
and
a
let
little
them
bit.
know that
Literally.
in exchange for that, they owe you favors.
Here we go. Trolling. Now they're trolling me. Mother sucker dog. Dog. Now it's fucking
a
straight up
series of
trolling me.
interlocking favors, but
All right.
all these interlocking favors, which, let's face it, are traditional tools of the political system, but they're made possible and made far more corrupt by the application of tens of millions of dollars, which to the public is completely invisible, because in this case, in the case of Ohio, as opposed to, say, Elon Musk during the presidential campaign, nobody knew, where all this money was coming from. There was a cutout company called Generation Now, which was part of this 501c4. Nobody knew what Generation Now was. Nobody knew where the money came from. The Generation Now was paying for massive amounts of negative ads to people who were opposing Householder's agenda.
We should talk about gerrymandering. My friend Dennis Kucinich lost his House seat and it was gerrymandered, we should be clear, by the Democratic Party at the time, not the Republican Party. But you show a map, and it doesn't make any sense, of course. What you gerrymander so that essentially the Republican Party in Ohio can guarantee a kind of majority. But this is just writ, of course, nationwide. So actually contested seats are in the minority.
Correct. And that way, let's just say that let's just say you live in a purple state. And Ohio is not dyed in the wool red, but let's just say you live in a purple state, which is 53 to 47, in the red, right? But in the legislature, it might be 70-30 red because of the way they gerrymandered the state. There's one example. We have another Republican judge, a woman named Maureen O'Connor, who was the Supreme Court justice in Ohio, opposed this outrageous gerrymandering and was much vilified by the hard right part of the Republican Party. She points out there was one district called the Snake on the Lake, which was just a little ribbon of territory along Lake Michigan, which is there only to be able to capture the group that they want to capture. It bears no relation to what you would call a community, because a community is full of lots of different kinds of people. But the key to the gerrymandering is packing and cracking. You crack up reliable districts of the opposition and pack them into one district so that you can have the rest.
Well, what's amazing is that because of the gerrymandering, despite overwhelming repulsion by most voters in Ohio, the speaker, and now it's been exposed. I mean, he's going to trial. He gets reelected.
Well, he gets reelected after he's convicted.
It was after he convicted. Great,
and that's
better.
no surprise to us now. We have a president for whom that is true.
Yeah. How much? I mean, for me, it was a kind of microcosm of the whole system, isn't it?
Yes, I agree. That's why we use the Ohio example, because it's rare, because of these wiretaps, that you get a kind of vivisection of how the corruption works. But I think the important thing about the Ohio story is that this is likely the kind of thing that's going on in every state. The other thing that was delicious about the Ohio story is that, kind of as a sort of corrupt response to the high-minded principles of the Supreme Court in saying, well, Citizens United will never lead to corruption. All these guys are chuckling on wiretap saying,
Right.
Since Citizens United, bribery is legal. We can do whatever we want now. They're just howling over the fact that Citizens United was a gateway to bribery. Now, these guys went so far over the line that they were actually convicted. But I'm sure other people are more sophisticated in terms of the wink and the nod between the super PAC that's independent and the candidate, in terms of making sure that they're aligned. Speaking of relating it to the national scene, what was it recently? There was I believe a 1 million a person candlelight dinner at Mar-a-Lago, and for a super PAC called MAGA Inc. And with Trump's, but by law, MAGA Inc. can't coordinate with Trump's campaign organization. So invitations say that Trump is a guest speaker. Now, do you imagine that there's any coordination between Trump and MAGA Inc.? Oh, perish the thought.
I want to just, before we go on to the second film, talk a little bit about one of the central characters in
Just
the film,
you can't
Clark.
force it, I
That's a
guess.
committee
I don't know, dude.
Suicide? I mean,
Just can't
you
force
leave
it.
that
It's gonna have to
open?
come
Do you
back
think it was
later.
suicide?
I do think it was
It's not
suicide.
gonna give it to you like
I think
this.
there were people initially who thought it might have
Just,
been
you
murder.
can't force it. It likes to be
because
more
he was
organic.
exposing a lot of dirty laundry. He was a lobbyist that I think would have gone to trial with the rest, but before going to trial, he ended up committing suicide. He commits suicide, by the way, wearing a T-shirt, a campaign T-shirt for Mike DeWine. who is the governor of Ohio. That was, I think, a not so subtle way of saying that the death and Neil Clark's activities were directly related to Mike DeWine. And we do know that people have been investigating DeWine's complicity in the case. But Neil Clark is an intriguing figure. And, you know, he's kind of the main character of the film because he's a bare-knuckle brawler in tradition of American politics. But there's also something kind of decent about him, and he definitely he has a sense of right and wrong, and yet he rationalizes what became his utterly corrupt behavior in ways that ultimately, I think, caused him not to be able to live with us. So in that sense, he's kind of a metaphor for the way in which so many Americans have kind of rationalized bad behavior for the sake of money.
Yeah, I mean, I think you narrate the film. I think you come to the conclusion that he believed that he was not committing a crime.
Yes. Well, I think he convinced himself that he was not committing a crime. And that was very much the speech he made to the FBI when the FBI tried to get him to flip, which he refused to do, because he was convinced that Citizens United made all of this stuff okay. But it's not okay, even with Citizens United, when a candidate is literally getting money from the party that he's about to enrich through a bill in Congress.
So it was technically a bailout bill for First Energy, is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah. And I think from the film, what the president or CEO or something of First Energy immediately after the bailout, took $100 million cut or something. Is that right?
No, it was evident that they were going to use this money to do some financial prestidigitation, which would have caused them to earn maybe $100 million of ill-gained profits themselves. But also, you know, you kind of get the sense this is a utility, right, who's providing energy to the citizens of Ohio. And I'm sure, you know, in public, they're also dedicated to the public good. But in private, a group of these guys sent around an email in which they put their heads on Mount Rushmore. And the message at the bottom was, fuck anybody who ain't us.
It's kind of like Enron.
Yeah. Ask why. Was the famous phrase from Jeff Skilling.
Let's talk about the second film. There were several points in that I found really fascinating. And we can talk about Schenck at the end, but so you have the anti-abortion movement primarily out of the Christian right. So they're backing all sorts of candidates like abortion, but in fact they're not overturning Roe v. Wade, which is their main demand. They're being played by these politicians, and so there's a kind of epiphany, and I want to talk about Leo. What's his last name?
Leonard Leo.
Yeah, Leonard Leo. Because he becomes a major focus of your film. But I had written a book on the Christian right, American Fascists, the Christian right in the war in America, and I knew that there was Walmart money and, you know, this and that, Hobby Lobby, but I didn't understand until I watched the film that this was a completely upfront, transactional relationship, a decision on the part of the Christian right to get into bed with the billionaire class, because nobody wants what the billionaires want, of course, except billionaires, but and to fund their movement. There was a very unholy alliance, and was it Leonard Leo, was he the one whose house you showed us, like a big house in Maine? These people also made a killing on this stuff. Let's talk about that. It was really, really interesting.
Well, it's a little complicated, but let me see if I can break it down. I mean, as you suggest, there was a deal made between the religious right, principally evangelical Christians, and big money. big money wanted to get rid of regulations. They didn't want any regulations on things like pollution or cigarettes or voting rights, and particularly campaign finance limits. And the religious right wanted one thing in particular. They wanted to end abortion. But they needed money to do it. And indeed, the lawyer who ends up taking down Citizens United, a guy named Jim Bob from Indiana, he started out as very much a character whose sole job was to work for the abolition of Roe v. Wade. So these groups joined forces. And as Reverend Bob Schenck, who was an evangelical minister, one of these guys who used to show up in the anti-abortion rallies with literally, aborted fetuses, hardcore guy, says at one point, sure, we can baptize the billionaires' money. And he quotes something which became the title of the film, which is, "The wealth of the wicked can be laid up for the righteous." And it testifies to a kind of religious corruption. Now, into this larger picture, enter a guy named Leonard Leo, who's not a Protestant. He's a Catholic, and a very conservative Catholic. He's a lawyer, comes out of the Federalist Society, but he shares with the evangelicals a desire, a belief that that conception begins not only that life begins not only at conception, but actually before conception, which is what Pope John Paul II said. So he's radically opposed to abortion, and his job is to use money, in many cases dark money, to fund the campaigns not of candidates for office, but of Supreme Court justices, because what's one mechanism you could use that doesn't depend on the popular will to get your way? Well, you pack the Supreme Court. Because the Supreme Court, in a way, as Justice Scalia says in the film, is a supremely undemocratic organization. And if you can co-opt or corrupt the Supreme Court and pack it with anti-abortion zealots, then you can get what you want done. And along the way, if you, match up the justices with pals who happen to have a lot of money, over time, the Supreme Court justices also begin to intuit that deregulatory agenda.
I just want to stop you, Alex, because that's a really interesting part of your film. You spend a lot of time on the Supreme Court, and you show how incestuous the relationship is, and Leonard Leo did a lot of setting up, I believe, this kind of stuff, between these incredibly wealthy donors and the justices.
That's right. What Schenck is doing from the evangelical Protestant side, Leonard Leo is doing from the Catholic side. And basically what they're doing, literally taking people and showing them the back door of the Supreme Court and ingratiating them with the Supreme Court justices so that they end up being friends with these billionaires who take them on lovely trips, fishing trips, or
they buy them. It wasn't Clarence Thomas driving a $200,000 RV that
yes, it was a loan which was mysteriously forgiven.
Yeah, right, it was forgiven. It's
and lo and behold, this person ended up having business before the Supreme Court. So it's a transactional relationship, but also these justices, as Schenck points out, are kind of lonely, and so they called them stealth missionaries, is what Schenck called them. Very wealthy people that they would introduce to the justices, and over time they would engage in a kind of romance. It wasn't really a romance, but they would engage in these friendships that ultimately would have the effect of turning their perspectives in a very pro-corporate direction, which is evident by the decisions of the Supreme Court.
I don't think you can take Jefferson.
But they also control the nomination process. So, they're stacking. They've already stacked the court. And then after you talk about that, I want you to talk about Trump and what happened, with the Federalist Society and their list of candidates, and because
that becomes a key. That might be the way to get into it, because how do you stack or pack the Supreme Court? Now, obviously, we know about some of, Mitch McConnell's crazy procedural inventions.
Well, this is with Merrick Garland. They just refused to hold hearings.
Yeah, that's
while
right.
Obama's in office.
Yeah, even though Obama had some months to go. And then, of course, they rammed through somebody else in the last month or so of Trump's term. But I think that the point here is that in order to pack the court, it turns out that you can do quite a bit to elevate the profile of people with the application of money.
Real.
And in the case of Trump, who may be, unless you go back to the Gilded Age, the most transactional president of our time. He then sees this because he knows he'll have the religious right in his pocket in 2016 if he waves a list, sort of like the Joe McCarthy list of people in the State Department. He waves a list, like I have a list of judges that I'm going to from which I'm going to nominate Supreme Court justices, and they're all going to be opposed to abortion. So if you want to end Roe v. Wade, vote for me. It was that simple. And the person who put that list together for Donald Trump was Leonard Leo, who is a very intense conservative Catholic, and not surprisingly, almost all of the Supreme Court bench is comprised either of practicing conservative Catholics or people who were raised Catholics and are now high Episcopalian, which is Gorsuch.
The other thing they do is you have a clip from Anita Hill. You have
So I'm like, I guess I'm ready for the next stage of worry. Because the worry's not going to go away, but at least it's not homelessness and drug addiction
sexual
and
assault and
prostitution,
the credibility,
and just hope they can keep their families together or make their car payment
and that gets back to
I was like, shit, it doesn't go away. It just
Larry Householder was doing in Ohio. You run negative ads.
Those middle class worries
are paid for.
You go from like, are we going to decorate for Halloween? You go from like, are we going to have somewhere to live on Halloween to
raise money?
Are we going to decorate?
Isn't there in the film where what do they give?
And the younger kids don't remember the tough time.
Later on, he was rewarded. There's a billionaire named Barry Side who basically dropped over $1 billion.
Only Isabel does. And we could have tough times again. I'm not saying that, but yeah.
Broker for conservative causes because he
you don't even remember Michigan, bro.
At his disposal. And that also was
you don't remember winter with no furnace
because it was a way of Barry Side avoiding a tremendous amount of taxes, even as he dumped over $1 billion into the pockets of an organization.
Literally dollars.
So
they're not going to believe us, but dollars meant something, dude. $5 was a pack of, not in Michigan, but yeah, like
Schenck. I found them, maybe the most interesting character in the film. So at the beginning, you have these clips of a young Schenck.
That's a lot harder than you think, by the way.
He's carrying
taping something to a window and covering. You can't tape to the window. Yeah.
Clinics. He's
makes it tricky.
The poor women who.
Yeah, come on, baby, get down.
It's very ugly. But he has a kind of epiphany. Obviously he has some kind of a conscience. Talk about him a little bit, what he saw, and at the end,
let's go back.
His conclusions about what all this did to the Christian right.
Right. Well, he begins to be a student of the corruption of the Christian right. And not just a student from afar, he sees it from the inside out. And the first time he kind of sees it is in 2016, when the evangelical Christian groups all decide to throw their weight behind Trump. And he's extremely uncomfortable because Trump is not a paragon of virtue. Trump is not somebody who you think of as...
We'll be back, bros.
By the principles of Jesus Christ.
We're going to take that territory right now, I believe.
He's a vain, corrupt womanizer.
Let's check that we got this one.
woman
Yep, we got
abuser,
that one. Let's roll.
Who's anathema to everything that they theoretically stand for. But as one evangelical minister put it to Schenck, he'll get us the court we need. Okay, so suddenly a light bulb goes off in Schenck's head. It's like, this doesn't feel right to me, but I'm going to go along with it for the moment. And then he has a moment when he's put in jail overnight as a result of one of his demonstrations. He, like, you know, in sort of the bizarro reverse of the civil rights movement. I mean, he becomes one of these characters who, in pursuing his anti-abortion agenda, is routinely put into jail for extreme demonstrations. He's in jail one night, and he hears a woman wailing for her children because she's been imprisoned without access to her children. And that sets off in him a series of kind of reverberations as he begins to realize that in his crusade to protect the unborn child, he hasn't really been paying any attention to the crisis of mothers who must live lives, who have to sometimes agonize over a decision that is very personal and important to them. And they're the ones who are carrying these fetuses. They're the ones who have to live the real world as opposed to the phony world of the imagined beautiful life that the evangelical Christians posit, that every child will be born into a land of plenty where all the neighbors will come and help. And so he begins step by step by step to undergo a kind of transformation where he begins to realize that he was wrong. He was wrong about the violence he used to meet on women, or at least the threatened violence he used to meet on women by, you know, in so many of the demonstrations. He was wrong to have ignored their needs and their rights for so long. And actually, even before the overturning of Roe v. Wade, he writes an editorial, an op-ed in the New York Times saying he now is...
Woo, got me, boys. Who was that? Who was that shooting at me?
Woman should have the right
you?
to choose. So it's a very moving conversion experience that he has, because he follows an ethical path, you know, that it took some time for him to get to, but he allows for the possibility of changing his mind as a way of engaging.
That's right. Go touch grass.
With, an essential moral code.
The video game tell you to go touch grass. That's hardcore.
Yes, he loses everything. But you can see that, and that in its own way is inspiring.
I had a decision. Last time I picked the bad decision.
So many people, universities, law firms,
and killed the emperor,
are doing the wrong thing for the sake of money.
Go touch some grass, bro.
You don't need this no more.
Blah, blah, blah. While they're selling
it's like Columbia's sole purpose is to protect their endowment, I guess.
Right. Well,
real estate
that's what I said. Universities and law firms. And Columbia was the first to bend the knee. And they bent the knee. They should have read The Art of the Deal. They bent the knee even before they had actually made a deal with Trump, which ensured that Trump was going to ask for more and more and more, because, of course, Trump only wants to destroy the universities. That's his goal.
Well, they thought it was a good faith conversation. They didn't understand it was a complete misreading of power.
Correct.
And the intent of power.
But also, they didn't properly reckon with the principles of an educational institution, as opposed to moving quickly to protect the financial underpinning of the institution. So, you know,
so
and that's clearly the problem with the law firms too.
So the two films together, I think, really explain how we got where we are. Where are we?
We got 55.
We're in a system of legalized bribery. It's more like Al Capone's Chicago
55.
than what we think of
Let's go
as
get
American
56.
democracy. And even worse, thanks to this Supreme Court, which I think was deeply corrupted, we have a decision which allows complete and utter immunity from prosecution for the President of the United States, so long as his acts are part of his official capacity as president. So you can have a president who can engage in bribery so long as it's part of his presidential brief.
57, huh?
And then all the way down the line,
Let's go get some
he
boys.
enforces loyalty not only through the application of money via his friend Elon Musk, but also through the stick or through the carrot of knowing that if you do something that's loyal to the capo di tutti capi, then you will be pardoned. Because he has, in addition to having a get-out-of-jail-free card, he's too big to jail, he also has the power to get everybody else out of jail. Imagine. I mean, that's like buying, like I say, it's like buying the police chief in Chicago.
But he's also destroyed, I mean, I'm sure you do too, well aware of the very dark history of the FBI that went after COINTELPRO and the Black Panthers and everything else. On the other hand, when the FBI functions as the FBI should function, or when the police functions as it should function, it serves a very vital role in a democracy. He's destroyed those institutions as well. Which means now there's just no mechanism by which corruption, malfeasance can be investigated, and with the Department of Justice, essentially none of it can be enforced.
That's right. I think it's fair to say that Donald Trump is trying to destroy the rule of law. After all, that's what Vladimir Putin did. The last remaining holdout, of course, is the court system, which is showing itself resistant, even though it has no power to enforce its rulings. And we get closer and closer and closer to open confrontation, particularly if the Supreme Court actually shows some spine,
57,
which is an open question. But I think if law is only based on personal loyalty, then it's not law at all, because it's not a law that applies to everyone. And I think even the rich in this society will find that ultimately what they thought protected their property no longer does. So one day, if they run afoul of Trump, they're going to be in the dock like everyone else. It's funny, I did a film a number of years ago called Citizen K, about Mikhail Khodorkovsky, who was Russia's richest oligarch. And then in 2003, Putin put him in prison because he found him to be a political rival. And he spent 10 years in the Gulag. But that was an example of how, in a crony capitalist country, if you don't bend the knee to the capo, then you find yourself in prison, even if you're the country's richest man.
Yeah, that's, every autocracy essentially demands complete fealty and loyalty, no matter where you are on the social strata. Where do you think we're headed? Where do you, I don't see, if the Department of Justice will not, of course the Supreme Court has no ability, but at least you have, under the Supreme Court, you have federal marshals, under the DOJ, you have, if they won't deploy, if they won't enforce, what, and I don't know how you look at Harvard's, belated act of resistance, but what do you see happening? Because it's happening with such a rapidity. We're falling so swiftly.
We are falling swiftly, but I think there are signs of resistance. I think the popular resistance, which was slow to manifest itself, is happening. And there are even moments, bits and pieces of evidence where the popular will outflanks the power of money, such as in Wisconsin with the recent election of the Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
So, it's bleak, it's dire, but, at the bottom of Pandora's box was hope. And I think there is hope. And I think it's every act of resistance is important, because at some point, it's one of the things that was important to me about doing these two films, because everybody rolls their eyes about the role of money in politics, of course, blah, blah, blah. But when you really boil it down and you say, no, what this is about bribery. This is about somebody taking some money and giving it to somebody else so that they have an advantage, that they get something that you won't get, your children won't get, because they're getting it because they paid somebody off. I think most people are pretty opposed to that. And once
but Alex, that's why they voted for Trump. Many of them, because he promised to drain the swamp. He wasn't wrong about the corruption in the swamp. Of course, he's making it worse.
Well, of course, he is the swamp. But
he is the swamp.
But I think also there were a lot of people voted. I mean, why people voted for Trump is dispiriting, but it's also hugely complex. And, I think there was a huge amount of tribalism that went into that. And also, you have a great many business people who just thought, well, he'll be good for business. Well, think again, because he's a capricious man who is not tethered by anything except for self-aggrandizement and the need for revenge and demand for loyalty. That's not, even business likes a good stable environment. Trump is not stable. So I think people are beginning to see that the emperor has no clothes. But will they act in time before he's snuffed out, what's left of American democracy? Remains to be seen. But I think the hope is that we all say, no, you're not going to destroy it.
That was Alex Gibney on his 2 films, Ohio Confidential and The Wealth of the Wicked. I want to thank Diego, Sophia, Max, and Thomas, who produced the show. You can find me at chrishedges.substack.com.
We have not lost a Doc's Battlefield 6 kill challenge yet. And you're probably thinking, well, Doctor, you've only had 1 episode. How about watch your stupid mouth? Because I'm still talking. Come on in. I won't even look at you. Oh my! You gotta watch out, Vince! Oh my God! Who will win? You got it right at the end, Doc. Bobby Puff, you're next. This guy's next. Let's see what you got, Bobby. Hey, where are you at in the leaderboards?
Come on, dude.
Just in the game.
I think my best. Well, Conquest wins. I'm like number 7.
Conquest wins number 7.
It's the best you got.
You might get a record right off the rip.
Oh, you're too calm.
Oh, 7-0. You gotta watch out for the 2-time today, Bobby. We're going to have to pull a rabbit out of our hat today. You're talking to the number 3rd ranked Conquest Wins. He's off to a quick start. It's going to be a challenge. Come on, Bobby! Boom! 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 Another one? Boom! 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 Just stay right there if you can. Boom!
58, bro.
But give me everything! Say hello to my shotgun.
That helicopter's flying around dangerously
It's 58. 7, 58. 59.
What? You're lucky! Yeah, nice audio! Nice audio! I'm gonna pissed off. I'm telling you right now, champs. Don't recommend nothing! Don't recommend nothing to me! Fire! This is no audio ever! Never! It's never ever! Never ever audio! 70 and 60. All right, we both raised our highs by 2. That's not enough. It's not enough. Bobby's got 70. I got 60. What? I haven't even looked at chat in like an hour, and for whatever reason, I just feel like they're pissing me off too. But they're just pissing me off, Bobby. That is unbelievable. How the do I lose that? Escalation, better version of Conquest. Thank you, Gun Pilot, with the outdated information. You guys are pissing me off today, man. You really are. You guys running around on wooden floors. I'm getting so mad.
What, baby?
I do love this game, but I feel like there's gonna be...
I don't know.
We'll find them. Don't worry. It just might have got moved. We'll find it. It's here somewhere. What, your stuff?
Go out on a night of town, have some martinis or something. Shut the up, let me play. I got Bobby yelling in my
You don't want to sip that
this
crap.
spawn.
When you gave her a drink yesterday, and she went, I was like, no, dude, I heard it. I was like, oh, God, no. I know the sound of hop addiction. No, I told you Shelly was too.
Yeah.
Shelly was, and then you were.
Great challenge, Bobby.
Is there anybody else? Might have been. My mom really wasn't. We just, because we're that generation, you couldn't, dude. You couldn't. There wasn't. That was I remember Michigan was the first time I saw people who had cans of soda at fucking home. And you were like, what the? And even then it would be like burners and it'd be off-brand. But then when you started seeing like Coke in people's fridge, you were like, oh, because then 2 liters came in. And 2 liters aren't the same. They're not the same. And I know we were, we were poor, lower middle class.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't know anybody that had soda at home, dude. That was even before 2 liters. When I was young in high school, people didn't have 2 liters. You got a 2 liter when you're going to a fucking picnic. That's when you got 2 liters. You're going to a picnic, or it was pizza night, or you and your buddies rented a bunch of games.
Yeah.
So you got a 2 liter with your little Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a 2 liter soda in the fridge? That's why it might have been Shelly. Might have been the first person that that just drank. No, she constantly had. She might not now, but she constantly had a cup of Dr. Pepper.
This is Dr. Grondek.
And she drank a 2 liter a day.
The case of Daniel Naroditsky.
She brought a 2 liter of Coke
Moved to
home,
the
or what was it, Dr. Pepper?
Then offer my analysis.
And that was about $1 a day back then. That was $30 a month. Just on, but it was her. That was her vice.
His father was from Ukraine.
But yeah, anyways,
his mother was from Azerbaijan. Starting at the age of 6,
and I think it was
Daniel started the game of chess. In 2007, he was the youngest player
another one
in
of the
the
first
Northern
ones.
California K through 12
We're like,
Chess
no, he got a
Championship.
Diet
He
Coke
scored another
every.
victory that same year
Oh, yeah.
in the under
But
12
then, yeah, he
section
didn't
of the
drink
World Youth
coffee.
Chess Championship.
He didn't drink
This
any of that.
earned him
I
the
think that
title
was even when
of
Starbucks
FIDE
was getting
Master.
big, all that shit.
FIDE
Yeah,
is the International
that's all he
Chess
drank was
Federation.
this.
The name
Yeah,
comes from its French acronym.
Did they not go out and see
In
him yet?
2010, Daniel
Not
published a
yet.
book
Well,
on
you really
chess.
have to wait
No,
till
I was
night.
gonna
Published
say
his
you
second
shouldn't
book
say anything.
in
Wait till.
2012.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
During the next year, 2013, he won the U.S. Junior Championship. Daniel was officially awarded the title Grand Master. He continued to compete over the next several years and found himself consistently ranked in the top 200 chess players in the world and in the top 25 for a fast-paced version of chess called Blitz. In addition to being quite popular as a chess player, Daniel was a well-liked commentator and teacher on social media. He had about 500,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel.
This chess
Daniel
YouTube
had
guy
interests
who was pretty.
outside
I
of
guess
chess.
chess
For
YouTube is
instance,
pretty
he
big.
continued his
There's a few
education
like
after high school
celebrity, you know,
by
they're
attending
YouTube
Stanford
famous and all that
University.
shit.
In
Especially
2019,
girls. I saw a
he earned
couple
a
girls
bachelor's
and they're
degree
cute.
in
And they're in their
history. In
late 20s,
2020,
early
Daniel
30s. You
moved
know what I
into a
mean?
house
So
in
they're all.
Charlotte, North Carolina,
But
and trained and worked as a coach
there's
at
been
the
cheating
Charlotte Chess
allegations
Center.
going on a lot.
Daniel continued
Mm-hmm.
And
having
like no, like
extraordinary success
serious.
playing
Like yeah,
chess.
shoving shit up
For
your butt.
example, in August
Serious.
2025,
And
he
Bubs
won
was
the
like, "Do
U.S.
you really?" I
National
was like,
Blitz
"Yeah,
Championship.
Bubs.
His
Yeah."
reputation had been
I'm not
cemented
saying
not
they
only as an
are,
incredible chess player,
but I know
but
they've
due to his
already
frequent
busted them with
online
little
play,
vibrator
a
shits in their
pioneer who helped
pockets on
usher
their.
chess into the digital
So
era.
yeah, I
Now
can
moving to the
see someone
timeline of
shoving
the
up a.
incident. Since 2023,
Yup.
the
Yeah.
former world chess champion
So,
Vladimir
but
Kranmik
basically they're
accused
using
several
AI
players
to
of
cheat
cheating during online chess matches.
in different
He didn't really
ways,
have
and then
much in the
just
way of
getting a
evidence,
little
but he
tiny
continued making
earphones.
allegations.
But it's
That same
technology.
year,
Yeah.
chess.com
So
shut down Vladimir's blog,
the cheaters are
claiming that he
always in
used it to
front
spread
with
baseless
technology, and then you
allegations
have to catch them.
against several dozen
And yeah,
players.
some shit came out with
Starting in
the
October
mafia was running
2024,
poker games, I
Vladimir
guess,
added
that were
Daniel
just
to his
totally fucking
accusation
crooked
list. On
and
occasion,
using
Daniel would look sideways during
ex
matches,
fucking
as if he was
sports
glancing
stars to
at another
lure people
monitor.
in. And the
Yeah.
sports
Vladimir
stars would get a
claimed
cut.
this was
They were all
consistently
in on
cheating.
it, except
He
the
also
poor
accused Daniel
fucking
of inflating his rating
dude who wanted
by
to
picking
play
less
with the,
skilled opponents.
Michael
These
Jordan or whoever
allegations
the
hit
fuck it
Daniel like a
was.
ton of bricks. He had a
And he
strong
gets taken
reaction
for
and desperately
$150,000
tried to defend himself.
in the card game.
Daniel denied ever cheating and was disgusted with Vladimir. He
Just
told
for a
anyone who
chance
would
to be
listen
around.
that Vladimir was out to get him. Despite
So,
Daniel's denial, Vladimir had a number of loyal
and yeah, that's
supporters
all legal
who were
too.
willing to
That's
believe his
fraud, dude.
claims.
Even if it's
Daniel
if the
referred to his supporters
gambling's
as an
legal, the
army of
fraud's not, dude.
troglodyte lowlifes. On a
I'm pretty sure you
podcast
can't
hosted
do
by
that.
other grandmasters,
Uh-huh.
Daniel
You can't
explained
say,
how
"Oh,
the
well, I'm not a
accusations
business.
affected his
It
mood.
don't matter. I
He
don't think
referred
you
to
can just
Vladimir's
cheat
allegations
people,
as
dude, out of
sustained,
money."
Yeah.
evil,
I
and
could be wrong.
representing an absolutely unhinged attempt to destroy his life. Daniel said,
Yeah, you
quote,
can take them to
"He
small
is
claims
trying to
court,
ruin my
can't you?
life.
For shit like
He is
that,
trying to
even
inflict
like
emotional
even a
harm,
friendly poker
physical
game. Could you
harm
take
on
your
me.
fucking
He knows exactly what he's
friend to
doing,"
court
unquote. Late on
for
October
cheating at a
17
game and
and
taking
early
your
on
money?
October 18, 2025, Daniel conducted a live stream of him playing blitz chess on chess.com. Playing online blitz games was a frequent behavior for Daniel. Normally, he was very comfortable with this activity. On this night, however, he seemed agitated. Early in the live stream, Daniel
Okay,
talked
so
about
I'll
how he
put
should
your
not browse
name.
Reddit
So
because
Kelly's
certain
got,
comments would get to him. After dancing
Kelly
around the
doesn't
subject a little bit, he
really
revealed that he
have
was
any
upset that people thought he
plans.
was too sensitive.
Well, does she give out
Presumably, he meant
candy?
too sensitive in
I mean,
responding
she
to the
didn't say she was
accusations made
going
against
Does
him
she get trick or
by
treaters?
Vladimir.
I
After
asked her
5
if they
How
chess
much is
matches
candy
where
before
Daniel
I
had
talk
3
about it?
victories,
No, we
he
haven't given
once
out
again talked
candy
about
in
the
years,
allegations,
Yeah.
dude.
saying,
She's
quote,
like, we don't really
"I
have a
could not
plan.
live
And she
if I
mentioned
knew
some neighborhood off
that
of
some carry the
41st.
notion
And
that I
I
am
was
morally
like,
No,
bankrupt,"
our little
unquote.
neighborhood.
yeah,
After
and
this,
that's what I
Daniel
messaged
lost
and said. We
10
always do
chess
Lakeside.
matches
It's like
in a
about an
row.
hour,
He
Yeah,
was clearly
well,
frustrated,
takes about
at
an
one
hour.
point
and
pounding his
then,
fist on a table. Over 2 hours into the live
oh,
stream,
but then I
the
asked her, I
doorbell
was like,
rang.
does your
2 of
neighborhood get,
Daniel's friends had stopped by to
how's
check
your
on his
neighborhood?
welfare.
She said, our
One of them
neighborhood gets
said,
quite a bit of
"You gotta
traffic,
go to sleep,
actually.
man."
And then she said,
Daniel
yeah, we
responded,
could go out like
"I
that.
know,
Then
just give me a few
also,
more
there's
games and I'll go to sleep.
Jaylene.
I
They're
set a 2 a.m.
trick-or-treating over
curfew.
by their
What's the matter?"
house.
After one of the
Okay.
men
That's what it
asked, "What's the
sounds
plan?"
like.
Daniel shot back,
back. I don't understand what the issue is.
So we should
Please let
probably
me play a
go
few more games of
with
chess in peace,
Jaylene and
and I'm
them
off
and
to
try to
bed.
talk Kelly
Daniel
into
played
bringing
2 more
Carson,
games.
right?
He won both of them.
Maybe.
Would that
One
be
of
the
his
best
friends
bet?
asked him to
Probably
finish the
so. And
stream.
then just not do
Daniel
Lakeside
responded,
this year.
"Can
And
I
then we
end
could
on the
skip
next loss?"
Lakeside. either
friend
talk
said, "No,
Jaylene into
I'll
coming to
implode it if you don't
Lakeside.
end it."
Yeah, but I don't
Daniel
think.
said, "The problem is,
But yeah.
since the Cranmix
But
stuff,
she said,
I feel
you know,
like if I
And it'd
start
be a
doing
little
well,
dry for, and but it's
people
nice
assume
where
the
she
worst
lives.
of
Where
intentions.
it might be, and
The
there's
issue is
already
just
houses,
the
and we could even
lingering
go down by
effect of
Isabel's
it.
house.
The friend
yeah,
told
she said
Daniel,
we've been
"You
told our
don't have to
neighborhood
prove
is getting
anything
safe for
to
trick or
those
treating,
people."
so we're gonna try it
Daniel
out.
started one
Yeah,
more
it
game
probably
before
is.
ending the live
No.
stream
It's the
just
neighborhood
after
by
the
the
opening.
Methodist church.
On the
you know,
next day,
like,
October
Uh-huh.
19,
But no, where
2025,
Jaylene
at about
lives, they've all
7:11
been
p.m.,
flipped. It's a
yeah.
pretty
Daniel
nice
was
little
found dead
neighborhood.
on his
Like, I
couch
think
by the same
Brad's
two
best
friends
friend, the twin
who
in
had
his
checked on
family,
his
will be
welfare
joining
on
us.
October 18.
But that's
He was
it.
29 years old. The
So,
police have indicated that
So
no
yeah, you
foul
want to go
play
trick or
is
treating with
suspected.
Jaylene? Well,
One possible
does she
cause of
want
death is
us?
a drug
oh no, she
overdose.
already. She's
Oh,
like, if
However,
you guys
at the
want to
time I'm
join
making
us,
this
we can
video,
hang
the
at
cause is
our
not
house
known.
before and
Now
after.
moving to my
Yeah,
analysis.
and see
Here
if
are my
Kelly will
thoughts on a
come.
few areas that
Yeah,
stood out to me in
I
this
get to
case.
see
Item
Kelly
number
when they
one.
come here. Jalen's
Vladimir
okay.
Kranmik
Yeah,
has been
that's
condemned by
Jaylene, and
many
that'll be
well-known chess
perfect.
players. For example, former world champion Magnus Carlsen called his behavior
And
appalling.
then we could always do
FIDE said it
Lakeside
was launching an
on the way
investigation
back.
into
If
whether
Sydney's
Vladimir should
adventurous.
be
If she's
disciplined
then
for
we
the
could send
disparaging
her
public
folks
statements
out.
that
Her
he
and
made
Bubs,
about
they can
Daniel,
walk
both
Lakeside, and we'll just
before
sit at
and
the
after
entrance.
Daniel died.
Waiting for him.
Possible sanctions range from
No, because it'll be
financial
cold by,
penalties
it'll be
No,
nighttime.
to
It'll
a
be
ban.
cold.
he was busy.
According to FIDE, the
Yeah.
organization may sanction a
So
player
yeah,
who
they
makes
can run through
unfounded
there.
accusations based on emotion
Yep.
or insufficient data. If Vladimir had data that were
No, that's
sufficient,
good.
he
Yes, I would like
probably
that.
already would have presented them.
I'd
It
like to
sounds
try to
like
build a
Vladimir may be
family
in
of
some
some
trouble with
kind.
FIDE. I would be surprised if he walked away
And yeah, they
without
moved
any
back to
penalties.
Tulsa.
Item number two.
Yeah, you never
Vladimir
know.
has made
Lacey
a few
could come
statements to the
back.
media claiming that he is a victim
So
in this situation. For example, he was the subject of a bullying and slandering PR campaign, and threats were made against him and his family. And the investigation
you
by
love
FIDE is
them.
insulting and
Just
unfair,
you have to put
and they want
butter
her
and
instantly.
salt on them.
He
Butter and
seemed to be
salt.
confused
Salt
about
butter.
why FIDE is investigating him at all,
Pork.
saying, quote,
You
"I
love
don't
pork
understand
chops.
what words they're
It's
talking
shake and
about.
bake.
I did not say anything
Oh,
bad about him. And I
Mom's doing
demand
her
to
own
confirm
style.
these accusations of
Mom
FIDE
ain't doing no
of my
factory
unworthy
shaking. You
words
love
after
that
his death
potato. Look at
as
it.
an actual quote, unquote."
Love it.
Vladimir posted on social media that he contacted the Charlotte Police Department
We don't know
and
yet.
asked them to
We're
investigate the
we're
death of
thinking.
Daniel,
Yep.
providing them some additional
But
information.
yes, I would
He
like you
claimed that he
guys
tried
to.
to
Your
get someone to
cousins are
help
old
Daniel,
enough,
but people ignored his
and
warnings.
Isabel's old
Vladimir
enough.
wanted the real truth about the
Sage might quit
circumstances
out
and
pretty
cause
soon.
of this
Yeah,
tragedy to
but
be
I would like
revealed,
you guys to.
Yeah,
despite
but see
all
if we're
attempts to
And
hide
plus,
it.
cart, especially
In
we can
an
get cart.
unusual
Bubs, you
move,
did not pick up
Vladimir
these.
attempted to
Pick
go
up
on the
those freaking
offensive
coffee beans,
by
bro.
claiming that all those
Oh
falsely
my
blaming him
gosh,
for
Joseph.
Daniel's death would be held legally
Four, I thought.
responsible. This includes him
And it
approaching
would
the
be
police
fun
in
if
Switzerland
Carson could go
to
too.
start a criminal case.
That'd be good. And then
This
your
makes it
brother
seem
can
like
go.
Vladimir does not quite understand how the law
Treating.
works.
We may go trick or
Defamation
treating with
is
Jaylene
civil,
over by
not
her
criminal,
neighborhood. It's
and
like
his chances of
51st
prevailing
and
in a
Harvard.
defamation suit
No, we
are
might get
extremely
the big
low,
candy bar
given the
there.
public record of his year-long
but
campaign against Daniel. Furthermore,
oh, but
Vladimir
that's
would
the
probably
deal.
be
If the little
countersued
kids
for
all
filing frivolous
are done
litigation,
after an
Yeah.
which
hour,
would only compound his
Then we
problems.
can, on,
Vladimir's
you guys
reaction
can
should
keep,
not
and
be
we're thinking on the
unexpected,
way home, we
considering
might
he is a
drop you
chess
guys off
champion.
at Lakeside.
One popular strategy in the
And
game
you could
is
walk
to go on the
through,
offensive when a
you could
piece is
walk through that
attacked.
neighborhood.
To be fair to
So,
Vladimir, there
and
is no
see.
proof that he caused Daniel's death, and not all his
It's going to be
accusations
cold. Once the
are
sun
unsupported.
goes down, it
This
gets
brings me to
cold.
item number 3.
Period.
When a person dies, there is often an
Yeah.
outpouring of sympathy
So do you have
and a
thermals yet?
reluctance to discuss any
Not
negative
from last year. You
characteristics the
probably
person may
outthrew.
have
Yeah.
possessed.
So,
This
but
means
we'll
that
do
the
it.
accusations made against Daniel
And
will
those
never
right
be
there will
fully
fit
explored.
underneath your costume.
No one
That's
will
all you
know if
need.
he
Yep.
cheated or not.
Yep. You just
Vladimir
need a
made
tight
many unsupported
underline. Those are
accusations,
long johns,
but he did point
basically.
out at least one behavior
Those yoga
Daniel
pants.
engaged in, which is exceptionally suspicious.
I don't
During a live stream on his YouTube channel against a player with a much lower rating,
Oh,
Daniel mentioned that he was looking at a
she
chess
might eat
engine
them if she helps
on
with
another
them.
monitor.
Yeah.
Daniel tried to
Yes,
explain
you
this
can help
behavior
Wash
by saying
potatoes,
he
let
was
both
teaching a
peel them.
lesson, and he was simply checking
I'm
out a
gonna
move
peel all
that
them.
he made
I'll get
earlier.
them ready for
He
you,
wanted to
kid.
see what the
All right?
chess engine recommended for the position
Oh no,
he
I'm
had
on
been in.
59, bro.
Even though Daniel downplayed this incident,
Huh?
nobody competing in chess matches should ever be looking at a chess engine. There is no excuse for that behavior. Daniel may not have been looking at the engine to cheat, but he left himself wide open to be accused of cheating. Item number 4. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Daniel had a gift for playing chess, which was discovered during his early years. Fortunately, this gift was nurtured and Daniel was able to ascend to the level of Grandmaster. During some of his games online, Daniel explained the logic behind many of his moves. There was no need for him to cheat.
Yeah, I think the computer can win at chess because it's a
During the
closed set
COVID-19 pandemic,
numbers.
many people who played chess over the board, that is, in person with another player physically present, were forced to go online. This led to chess becoming popular with a new audience. Daniel became a prominent figure in this transition from over the board to online. He was well regarded as an educator and a champion. Unfortunately, online chess is dependent on the honor system, at least for the most part. Cheating is very easy and very common. One of the most popular cheating methods is to have a chess engine open on another monitor. This not only makes the best move known to the player, but the player can get that move quickly. Vladimir Kramnik was upset by all the cheating that was going on in chess. He started accusing a lot of other players. Many people dismissed his accusations as coming from a place of envy or antagonism, but that doesn't mean all the accusations were incorrect. When Daniel was caught using a chess engine during an online game, he had no good way to explain it. I don't believe that Daniel actually cheated during chess matches. In my opinion, he probably had the chess engine visible to double-check moves that he already made, just like he stated. The problem is, having the engine up showed a serious lack of judgment. Daniel had damaged his reputation, and he gave credibility to the other accusations that Vladimir was making. Vladimir had a lot of authority as a world champion and was one of Daniel's heroes. Daniel had looked up to him as a child. Daniel probably would have been better off not addressing the allegations at all, but instead, he dove into the minutia, trying to defend himself from every little observation that Vladimir pointed out. The more Daniel defended himself, the worse he looked. He found himself playing from a losing position. Every time he made what he believed to be a brilliant move, he was faced with an effective counterattack. Much like when a knight is able to trap a queen and a rook in a fort, Daniel did not have a good choice. He was going to lose a piece of value either way, but he simply could not accept that outcome. The police mentioned that substance use was one possible cause of Daniel's death. This is an unusual thing to say if they didn't have some reason to believe it, which makes it seem like Daniel had been using substances. Perhaps the stress of his situation led him to accidentally overdose. Sometimes when a person has a tremendous intellectual gift, like being great at chess, there are deficits in other areas. Many grandmasters tend to be socially awkward. The logical nature of chess seems to extend into their relational style, making them appear aloof, cold, and calculating. What made Daniel special was how he appeared to be relatively normal socially, despite having a fantastic aptitude for the game of chess. He was actually relatable, which made him a popular and well-regarded teacher. Unfortunately, Daniel was also quite sensitive. I think he recognized this near the end, but he did not know how to address it. He knew that he was not actually a cheater, but he also knew that he would never be able to fully climb out from under the allegations. Daniel felt as though he was in the endgame and down on material. All he could do was watch an army of pawns march toward promotion. This losing position left him in a pernicious state of mind. Just like checkmate, it signaled the end of the game. Those are my thoughts in the case of Daniel Naroditsky. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, so then
Trump has just announced that he will be awarding Rudy Giuliani the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He posted this on Truth Social over the weekend. As President of the United States of America, I am pleased to announce that Rudy Giuliani, the greatest mayor in the history of New York City and an equally great American patriot, will receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom, our country's highest civilian honor. Details as the time and place to follow. Thank you for your attention to this matter, MAGA. Okay, so it seems Giuliani is a candidate for this medal specifically because of the work that he did as the mayor of New York City surrounding the September 11th attacks. That's, I guess, the reason that they were giving for why Rudy Giuliani would get this medal. But of course, more recently, he has been a key part of Trump's legal team, an association that ultimately got Giuliani disbarred. So This announcement also came just as Giuliani was hospitalized after being involved in a car accident. So according to Michael Ragusa, who is Giuliani's head of security, he was transported to a nearby trauma center where he was diagnosed with a fractured thoracic vertebrae, multiple lacerations and contusions, as well as injuries to his left arm and lower leg. His business partner and medical provider were promptly contacted and arrived at the hospital to oversee his care. So he's said to be recovering very well from the accident, which is good. And Ragusa says that, yes, this was just an accident. Let's not get too crazy. And maybe, also don't look into it too much, because the story has a very interesting subplot. Prior to the accident, Giuliani and his driver, Theodore Goodman, were, quote, assisting a domestic violence victim. That's interesting. So according to reports, Giuliani and Goodman, when they were flagged down by a woman on the side of the road who told them that she had been involved in a domestic violence incident. Goodman and Giuliani, being the good guys that they are, they called the police and they stayed with the woman until the cops turned up. They told the troopers what they knew and then they left. And just minutes after they left the scene, they were hit by a Honda HR-V. So, Jane, they were flagged down by a woman on the side of the road. She was just standing there. She happened to flag down Rudy Giuliani, and he had to stop, and then all this is happening now. This is a very strange story. I'm not trying to imply anything, but maybe you do.
Oh, yeah, I want to imply something.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, the Presidential Medal of Freedom is debatable. He's not the worst recipient at all. I get, given that he was mayor of New York, it's not crazy. So I have less of a problem with that, right? I'll give you a little bit later a much worse recipient, right? But I think that they gave it to him in a panic because they thought he might die, honestly, from the car crash. I don't want him to die. I feel terrible about the car crash. But overall, I'm not overly offended by the Presidential Medal of Freedom, especially because it's unfortunately become a joke because of Donald Trump. Again, for reasons I'll explain in a second. But I'm much more interested in the circumstances around the crash. So, a woman flags him down in the middle of nowhere. Imagine you're this woman, you're in despair, you're on the side of the road, and you flag down a car. And it coincidentally happens to be Rudy Giuliani. Okay, that is awfully peculiar, right? All right, then you get in the car, and then you start telling him about, I had domestic violence, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, that's it, I'm gonna help you. And he's a hero, and he calls 911, and he's just trying to help her in every way. And then he gets back on the road, and boom, somebody smashes into him. That's cool. Nah, something else happened. Okay, so is it possible for me to know what happened without knowing more than he has? Of course not. So are we left to speculate? Because that's not what happened. I mean, so the car crash, what? Okay, think about it, guys. He gets into a car crash, goes to the hospital. Why are we even talking about the woman? Like, if it's not related to the woman, why did you tell us that story? If you just had a rando car crash, okay, then it's a rando car crash, right? You're telling us about the woman because the woman is related to the car crash. And we're supposed to believe you picked her up on the side of the road and she had this giant drama that apparently you got embroiled in within a short period of time, and that's what led to the accident, and that's why you're telling us. Things that make you go, Usually you run into a woman on the side of the road for other reasons.
They really had to go out of their way to make it seem like Rudy Giuliani was the hero in this situation. Because, we didn't need to know anything about this woman on the side of the road, but they're like, oh, he was helping a victim of domestic violence. It's such a weird, PR spin to put on whatever was happening. Again, I'm not suggesting anything. Jank is suggesting all the things, and I'll let him be the one suggesting things. But just an insane story. I don't know what to do with that.
Hey, listen. If you think pure thoughts and you think, well, of course, I always see distressed women by the side of the road, and then I get into a giant drama where I then get sent to the hospital over that woman, and that's normal, and that's what Good Samaritans do. Okay, then that's what you think. If you think something else, I didn't say it.
This would only happen to Rudy Giuliani, though. Like, that's what, like, this whole thing is so insane. And it's like, of course, this would happen to Rudy Giuliani because Rudy's like the only person who would come up with a story, like a backstory to his car accident like this. You know, anyone else could have just been like, I got hit on the road. Like, that happens. Accidents happen all the time. But with Rudy Giuliani, we get this whole weird story to go along with it because, of course, we do.
Yeah. And finally, why the Presidential Medal of Freedom doesn't matter anymore. It used to be the highest honor.
Okay.
In his first term, Donald Trump gave it to Miriam Adelson because her husband had given him $200 million in the last, or $100 million in 2016. At that point, it was only $100 million. By now, that family's given him $337 million through 3 campaigns. But they gave him $100 million. He moved our embassy in Israel because of them, and he says it. He made their corruption charges largely go away on a small fine, relatively small fine for that. So charges against them went away. Giant tax breaks for the Adelsons. He gave them everything. But to seal the deal, he's like, oh, you know the thing that was all about honor and sacrifice and the thing that we give to the greatest Americans. I'll throw it in as a tchotchke. If you act now, you'll get this set of Ginsu knives and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And he did. He gave it to Miriam Adelson for nothing, just because she was, her husband was his top donor. So you give it to Rudy, sure, whatever. Doesn't mean anything anymore anyway, right? And Rudy, brother, even if you had issues like the one that I think you had, no one would have noticed if you didn't put the super weirdo backstory about how you were this good Samaritan helping women all across the roads of America and getting in trouble for it. So, a little sus, as the kids say.
Yeah, it really is. And it's just like, I'm so glad that we decided to cover this story because it was so ridiculous. And I remember like when I was producing it, I was like, what do I even do with any of this information and why has it all come out? But like at the end of the day, he's going to get the Medal of Freedom. It's a done deal. It's just, time and place TBD. Also, thank you for your attention. Like all of it's so ridiculous. So like this whole administration is so farcical that whenever Rudy Giuliani gets named as a recipient of the Medal of Freedom, it's like that's not even the big story. It's like this other weirdo part of the story is taking all of the glamour away from it because that part is not glamorous anymore. That part is not notable anymore because this entire administration is ridiculous. So this is the state of where we are today, which is fun for everyone.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true. But it does keep you updated on our live shows.
So then, the guy came back to life and killed the cop. But then the cop came back to life and killed him. Really? It was cool. And you missed it. You were asleep. No, I wasn't. I was awake. I was just, being quiet. Yeah. With your eyes shut. Hey, Beavis. We should, sleep on the way home. That way we can stay up again. Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah.
Individual Oreos.
Into the what?
Individual Oreo cookies.
I know. We gotta take this territory.
Yeah. You fell asleep again, and now we missed the bus.
Let's take this territory.
Sorry about that.
64 is territory. Nice.
What do we do now?
65.
I guess we have to walk. No, wait, that's too far. I know, dumb. But I know a shortcut. Oh, really? Cool.
I think that's a man thing.
Or they're all slightly messed up.
Yeah. I think that's his dad.
Crazy. I'm like, dude, I've made this stuff for knowledge.
Are we lost, butthead? Damn it,
I don't know. You want to do it your own way. You can't learn unless you do try. You know what I mean? You don't learn by following directions.
I don't think this was.
Can you help us? We're lost. No way. We just don't know where we are.
Well, where are you trying to go? Well, what's your address?
There's like a tree there. Yeah. And I think the dude next door has a pickup truck. Yeah, and it's blue. No, it's not. It's green. It isn't. It's blue.
Hey.
Beavis, it's green. No, it's blue.
Did you put the dish
What street do you live on?
Oh.
Okay. I live in a house.
Well, I want a cup of coffee, but I don't want to get in your way.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, well,
it's
I'm
like
not gonna
green.
do the whole week thing.
No way, Beavis. I think it's like
I just meant, do you want
brown.
me to make a coffee?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
I was being funny.
It's not gonna mess with me. So.
What, is that an ending you didn't see, Bubs?
No.
She's playing like the evil side or
Excuse me
something.
and stuff, sir.
You have
What?
to.
We're like,
No, to play
looking
them
for our
all, right?
neighborhood.
It's all the...
Yeah, I mean, there's like a tree there. Ow! We already tried that dumb. We live by Anderson.
Anderson? Praise be Jesus Christ.
Easy,
Today
people.
is day
Come on, man.
14 in the
Yeah.
pit.
Yes, dude.
It's 11 a.m. It's 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is
Yeah,
4
little much.
degrees
Little much.
Celsius. Now, today's going to be a
Little
pretty
too
intense
white
day.
up in here.
Not too intense.
Little
because
bit
I'm
too
on
white up in
sabbatical,
here.
but I find
Too much
helping
civil
my
war.
wife needs a
Shit.
certain
Too much
amount of stress
self-hate.
and a certain amount of excitement and a certain amount
What are you doing?
intensity
I'm helping
for
you.
one to
I
flourish.
literally...
And so
What?
I think we're
You don't
finding
want
that
coffee
balance
now?
here in the pit. I don't know about you, but I'm
Mhm.
having a grand
You
old
don't
time
want
out here.
coffee?
It's a beautiful
No?
day.
We're
Let's
being
put the chicken
so
on.
Not
We gotta
enough to
move.
make it myself? Yeah, probably.
Move. Let's do
No,
this. We
I
got
did not
fire.
do
We
that
got
to do that.
tripod. We got water
That is
boiling
not
for
why
the
I
soup
did
of the
that.
day.
I
But I
did
want to
not.
put the chicken
I did not.
on that rock right there.
I am so lucky I found
Thought I
you.
had the rock perfectly positioned.
I'm so lucky I
Let's try
brainwashed
that.
you
What do you think?
when you were young,
We're gonna put the chicken right there.
19.
Right.
You were like 20, dude.
Blew off the ash and just
You were right on the
ash
verge
came
of
on.
20.
Whatever. Okay.
We were all young. You were older than me. I was a baby, dude.
Is experimentation. Oh, did you hear the sizzle?
I was trying to
what we
remember
wanna
why you
hear, the
loved me so
sizzle.
much.
See, there's a lot of heat, like right here.
And I was
can't
like,
hold
no,
my
dude,
hand.
I was on my shit. We were all on our
We need
shit.
to
We were,
now make
you
the
know,
soup.
I know
We
it's
need
a
to put the
trope,
soup
but
on,
yeah,
so
we
that's
were
the next
gonna
step.
change the
Just talk
world, you
amongst
know?
yourselves for a second. I just
We
gotta
were
get a
gonna
little
do
bit of
stuff.
setup.
We were gonna be
Once
somebody.
again, I'm just gonna take the walk away approach, you know. Otherwise, I'm gonna
Well,
be
that's what we
stressing
all do. No,
for
that's
the
the
next
trope.
40
Yeah.
minutes about
But
the
yeah.
chicken.
Like,
I mean,
how
the
did
chicken we made 2
I
days
remember my
ago
wife like fell in love? How?
was
I
a
was
bit
like,
of a
dude, you were on
disaster,
fire
but
at the time. Like, I just can't see
I
it
mean,
now. You know what I
there
mean?
was
I
some of
can't.
it that was
But I
edible,
was like, yeah, and you were
the water
talking,
in there has been boiling. Let me show you. It's
you
been
were
boiling
trying to
for
be
probably the last
social,
half
you were
hour.
trying to
We
be, you
could have
know.
had the soup going on a long time ago.
Huh?
I said,
And
you
it's
actually
still
have
boiling.
to.
Actually, most of
Shut
it, like
up.
the water, we lost
Pretend it
half of
to
the
it.
water, so we'll have to top it.
Pretend it.
I did not. Whatever.
I think I am gonna try
Whatever.
to turn the chicken around.
You thought I was
Might be
perfect.
hard messing about the chicken.
I was perfect. It just they never showed up, Mom.
Whew, look at that, eh?
They never knocked on
I
the
want to
door,
get back
dude.
to our
Too much
topic, the
work. It
soup
was
of the
too much
day.
work, dude. Too
But
much
today
work.
for the soup of the day, it's gonna be very simple. It's just gonna be a vegetable soup. I mean, I didn't plan this, but I just
We
find
were
myself
perfect.
enjoying
We were.
cooking soup.
I
Because there
really
was a
am
fire
bummed about
ban,
Steven and
so
Mia, dude.
boiling water with the stove was kind
I
of
did not. I
the
I
only
held on to
option.
that
I'm starting to
forever,
enjoy it,
dude.
and
Like
I think it might be a newfound
like
hobby
when
for
you
me
were still
because I
I think
feel I'm
after you
getting the
came back from the
sense,
army, I was still
of the
halfway
soup.
thinking
You know, if
maybe,
you will
maybe.
notice that
Oh
there's
well,
a
yeah, they were
chain
still
and a
together,
string.
right?
You see that?
I was still. I
So
was
this
getting
morning,
you're talking to
I just quickly put the pot on with the string.
friends,
Then I realized that
and
string's
then
gonna
we can
break,
like
and if it
you
breaks
know,
with a pot of soup,
like
that
me
would
and
be
Steven,
awful.
you know, like we thought we
Stringed
were
up
gonna
the
be our
chain, but
friends
then I thought I
forever.
want
Yeah,
to
like you
see
have that
if
one
this,
set of
if
friends.
the,
That were like,
I want to
They're
see
like you,
if
you know
the
what I
string
mean? There's
breaks.
no
Because if you're in a
there's no
survival
bullshit
situation, guess what
halfway.
you're
Like,
using? You might be using your
but
bootlace or whatever you can get your hands on, you know?
yeah, no, it is a
And
bummer.
so
And Mia's not the
string
same.
work if the heat isn't too
Been through
intense.
too much
And so
shit,
far,
dude.
this has been boiling maybe now close to
Really?
an hour on that little string, you know. So,
It's been
but the thing is, at this point, we need to cut the
really
string. We're gonna cut
sound
the
the
string
same.
Her
so that
mannerisms,
we're just
the way
using
she
the
was
chain, and
talking,
hopefully that
the
happens
same.
without
Because it
too
like
much
bummed me
problem.
out.
Because
I was like,
otherwise, I
no,
can't
this
take
is
the
not the
pot
man
off.
I know.
Well, that was kind of like my mom when I went back.
Yeah.
And not bad, but my mom was already getting
We're gonna add
older.
the vegetables.
And you go like, no,
That's not.
yeah, that's not my old mom. Like,
Yeah.
that's not.
We're going with the
Like her
usual
laugh sounded
onion,
funny.
garlic,
Anyway, there were just
celery,
little
carrot,
things
potato.
like that.
Maybe we should have used a bigger pot. I don't know if this is all gonna fit in.
I take that paper.
Okay, well, there it is. Now, let's just take some of the water out. Try to take some of the water out. That way we can add the spice. First, we're gonna add salt.
Run, Neo!
Big change.
Run!
Alert! Big change.
Oh no, run,
We're
Neo!
switching
Run!
to,
Run!
just for fun, sea salt.
Woo! Got me on the corner, bro.
And check this out.
That was almost toast.
Peppercorn
Yeah,
medley.
almost. I'm taking back my territory right now. My brother gave me crap for abandoning the hood.
Drum roll, please. We're gonna add garlic powder. Put some garlic powder in. Maybe like that would be good. The moment of truth. Is this gonna work? Oh, that was so easy. I love it. Okay. Tell me what you think about that. That's looking good.
Oh, give me a heart, bro.
Full camp tour. We're gonna do the full camp tour. If you're just joining us, you came at a good time. Full camp tour. Okay, so this is the chicken cooking.
Run. Oh, you did not.
Yesterday. This is kind of a bit of a cooking area.
Oh, you dogs. Dirty dogs.
This is the shelter, calling this Fort Anthony with the wood stove. We didn't light the wood stove today. This is kind of my tea station. Oh,
hey, easy, baby girl.
Finished off the Bengal spice, so I've been having some peppermint. We'll continue. Let's get into the Desert Father saying of the day and the scripture quote. Okay, so I'm reading through the systematic collection. It's topical, so just happened to reading through the topic on lust. Okay, this is classic, one of the most quoted Desert Father quote. She's a desert mother. They said of Sarah that for 13 years she was fiercely attacked by the demon of lust. She never prayed that the battle should leave her, but she used to say only, "Lord, give me strength." So she battled. Any of you battling lust or whatever else? We need to battle. Then the next saying, so that's the saying of the day, but later, like the next one is, once the demon of lust appeared to her in bodily form and said to her, "You have overcome me, Sarah." But she replied, "It is not I who have overcome you, but my Lord Christ."
Jeez,
The wisdom of the Desert Father.
Come on, dude, into the store.
It's pretty rough in places, but anyways, they had wisdom. Have you not seen what strength exercise brings? So exercise, like doing discipline, all that. So stand up and be strong, and the Lord will defeat your enemy for you. So that's the whole basic principle. It's the Lord. And we hear this among other places. Exodus chapter 14. When the chosen people were about to cross the Red Sea, Pharaoh was coming with his chariots. They all thought they were going to die. Moses answers. Where is it? Do not fear. Stand your ground and see the victory the Lord will win for you today.
I said share.
For these Egyptians whom you see today, you'll never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You have only to keep still. You see that's the basic principle. Don't try to do it on your own. Jesus said, "Without me, you can do nothing."
I didn't tell you this, right?
And in my scripture on the love of God every day, I'm meditating on the love of God. That's my theme for my time here. This is Jesus at the well with the Samaritan woman. I love this. Jesus says to her, if you knew the gift of God and who is saying to you, give me a drink, you would have asked him and he would have given you living water. We need to ask for the living water. He desperately wants to give it to us. Readings for today, mass readings for today. You abide in hearts that are just and true. That's our desire. The Lord wants us to be a dwelling pleasing to him. St. Paul tells us, for those who live according to the flesh set their minds on the things of the flesh. But those who live according to the Spirit set their minds on the things of the Spirit. That's what we need to do. Walk not according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit. But it's setting the mind. And I wrote down here, you receive what you read when you're recollected. See, when you read God's word, everything you read with an open heart, you receive.
God dang, dude.
Just the gardener today, the fig tree that wasn't bearing any fruit, the gardener said, sir, let it alone for one more year until I dig around it and put manure on it. If it bears fruit next year, well and good, but if not, you can cut it down. They say that's our Blessed Mother. She's the one who says to the Lord, Lord,
guys,
I'll help him out. And then I always read, this is the prophetic revelation approved by the church from Mother Eugenia. God the Father speaks to his children. God the Father, it's a love letter, basically, from God the Father to his children. But I read today, I read from this every day, but today, what really touched me, she reports God the Father saying, God the Father telling us, raise yourselves to the dignity of children of God and learn how to respect your own greatness. I love that. If you want a copy of this, we send a copy of this to every student who joins our School of Reading. Join the School of Reading, we'll send you a copy. And also, we're about to announce our next book. Okay, should we take the chicken off now? It's looking like it's edible.
It's the best you got.
Okay, let's get out the meat thermometer. Okay, meat thermometer's in my pocket. Moment of truth. In she goes. Oh, 208. 208. I mean, it's ready, right? If it's that hot, obviously it's ready. This is the moment of truth. I mean, according to the meat thermometer.
You enjoying yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no pink. Yeah, do you see that? Comes right off. All right, folks, you can start off with your soup's boiling. I wish it was.
Yeah.
Right, cookies.
See, we're at the 35-minute mark.
Potatoes are boiling.
I wanted to light that rocket stove. Just sat on the meat thermometer. And I think we should try the chicken. Did you notice as soon as we said, bless us, O Lord, the clouds parted? Just like Moses, the seas parted, and the sun started shining. The Lord's blessings. Some of it's burnt. I don't know how much burnt stuff we should eat. Tastes like chicken. It's very good. I consider today's chicken a success. Some barbecue sauce would be nice. I have to bring that out next time. The Lord be with you. May Almighty God bless you, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Viva Cristo Rey. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Mom, I wanted to be Halloween.
Hey, fellow babies, welcome to Factor Live on unsifted.net. Those of you who are Patreon patrons or YouTube subscribers, thank you. You are keeping us afloat. You're keeping Shane stocked up with his macaroni and cheese meals. And if you are doing that, we appreciate it. Whether you're doing that or not, if you can't afford it, no problem. But if you have an Amazon Prime account, please link it to your Twitch Prime account. That's an extra $2.50 a month to Shane. So it's easy to do and it costs you nothing. So you can actually help us out by linking those accounts. It's not hard. There are instructions on how to do so in the show description below. So check it out. It's 3 clicks. You got to do it every month. So if you haven't done it in a while, do it again, please. Every time you do that, like I said, Shane gets $2.50. So do it again, and you're keeping us afloat. Otherwise, if you have no money and no Amazon Prime, I get it. You're watching this a week late, but at least you get to watch it on YouTube. All right, let's get on to today's question, which is how good is Battlefield? Those numbers, 7 million units in the first week, apparently a Battlefield record. I can tell you that every Battlefield has sold between 7 and 15 million, 18 million units lifetime. I think 18's the highest, actually. The 7 million norm obviously didn't sell 7 million in 5 days or in a week, whatever it's been. The 18 million was a sneaky surprise. That was the one that was World War I. It really did well. And it was sneaky. People didn't expect it to be good. It got good reviews and sales kept going. So, this is the biggest first week launch ever. I will say there's more anticipation for this game because it's followed a couple of bad Battlefields. They've done a really good job with how they've done Battlefield Labs and done the beta testing. So they've had a lot of people in to see the game over the last month or so. And so personally, I think 7 million is a bad number. I think bad. I think it means they're going to sell 15 total, not 18. I do not expect this to be the biggest seller ever. And to put that in context, Call of Duty sells 25 million pretty much every single year. Its record is 40. Activision used to put out a number, when they did $1 billion in sales, and that has literally happened 2 weeks after launch. $1 billion, they tend to use retail sales, means about 13 million units, 14 million units at $70. So they've sold 14 million in 2 weeks, more than once. And this thing, 7 million in a week, is not selling 7 million the second week. So odds are it's going to sell, 2 million this week, and then 1 million next week, and 1 million the next week, and 500,000 the next week, and then a little spike before Christmas. Probably will end up around 15. Is that good? Sure, that's good. It's probably the second biggest Battlefield ever. Is it possible I'm wrong? Sure, but not in the first 6 months. It'll probably have legs, and it really depends upon the live service support that they have for Battlefield. So if they consistently drop good content, good maps, good new weapons, good new missions, things to do, then it probably will keep selling. And also watch the price. I mean, you're going to know when the price drops that sales have slowed.
This episode of Packed or Factor is brought to you by DeShazer Ryan Realty. It's time to find out why everyone is buying homes in Montana. Right now, Doug DeShazer has a beautiful single-level home with a triple-car garage available in the best neighborhood in Libby, Montana. This custom 3-bed, 2.5-bath home has a 500-square-foot patio for entertaining. It's built to last with solid wood core doors, Anderson windows, an asphalt driveway, central AC and heat, and a private well to run its sprinkler system. The price was recently reduced, and owner financing is available with 20% down. No matter where you're looking to buy in the U.S., Doug DeShazer is licensed to help. Make him your real estate consultant at 406-291-1643. That's Doug DeShazer at 406-291-1643, or go to LibbyMontanaRealEstate.com.
But this is a good number. Now, what does it mean for the Saudi acquisition of EA? A lot of people were talking about the Saudis are making this bid before Battlefield. because Battlefield's going to be so huge, and when Battlefield sells 25 million or 50 million or 100 million units, the Saudis will know they got a deal. Let's be real. EA
Let's get out of
generates
here.
about $2 billion in what they call cash flow. They're paying 27 times cash flow. So the Saudis are not buying this for financial reasons, and Battlefield selling 15 million, I'd say that's probably around the expected number. So, net, it's probably about exactly what the Saudis expected. But they're not buying EA for cash flow. They're buying EA because they actually want to create jobs in Saudi Arabia, not soon, over the next 10 or 20 years. And over time, I think they're going to move some operations like quality testing, like art, like animation to Saudi Arabia. So they're not doing it for cash flow reasons. The Battlefield sales, like I said, as expected. I'm pretty sure I had 15 million in my model. Not a special number, nothing crazy.
Run, bro. Run.
There has been some noise about the acquisition.
Almost got you in a
We had
pit.
two senators, Richard
Good shit.
Blumenthal from Connecticut and Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts, who are raising concerns about the Saudis owning an American business. I'll let you in on a secret, and I am a Democrat, and I'm a pretty liberal Democrat. Those two people don't matter. As much as I like each of them, they are a minority in the Senate. They're only two. There are only 47 Democrats in the Senate out of 153 Republicans. So there's no chance that those two are going to block this merger. How do we actually get this deal done and get it over the hump? Hey, wait a minute. Let's let one of our investors be Trump's son-in-law. If you do that, now the Trump family is being enriched, and Donald Trump is going to say what a great merger it is and what a brilliant strategist Jared Kushner is, and the FTC is not going to do anything to upset Trump, so the deal will happen. Elizabeth Warren might be right, and Richard Blumenthal might be right. There might be some censorship. They might, the Saudis might exert control, and you might have things that come out differently than they would have had it just been owned by U.S. shareholders. But the government's not going to stop it. It's not going to happen. So this deal's going through. The idea was that the deal would close by June. I think that's pretty aggressive, just because we're in October. It could happen by June. More likely it'll happen by August or September, about a year. And I saw a bunch of reporting that the Saudis were going to slash jobs. That's irresponsible reporting. They're wrong. The Saudis are not buying this for financial reasons. They don't care about EA's cost structure. They're not doing this to cut jobs. That was just bad reporting. This is not a financial deal. This is a strategic deal. So Call of Duty doesn't put out numbers since the Microsoft since Microsoft acquired Activision. But if Call of Duty typically sells 25 million, that's probably 4 million on PC and 21 million on console, and it's probably 15 million on PlayStation and 6 on Xbox. And putting it free on Game Pass takes the number down by 6, period. Just does. No person who owns an Xbox is going to buy that instead of doing Game Pass. It just doesn't make any sense. So realistically, that game is probably going to sell about the same number of units as Battlefield. Is Battlefield competition for it? Absolutely. But not very many people buy Call of Duty every single year. Probably 10 million buy it every single year, and another 15 million buy it every 2 years, and another 20 million buy it every 3 years. And that's kind of how you get to the 25 million year in and year out. And so the same core 10 million who buy it every year are going to buy it this year. Will Battlefield block some of the people who buy it every other year and they'll skip it this year? Sure. So could sales be down to 15 million and Battlefield sell 16 and eke out a victory? Absolutely. Who's going to tell us that? Circana? Sure. Because all the NPD, it's the old NPD, because all NPD is perfectly reliable forever because they can count digital copies. Spoiler alert, no they can't. They'll make up some and they may tell you that Call of Duty was outsold by Battlefield or vice versa. Who cares? I don't care. They're going to probably be about the same size. I can tell you now, more people will play Call of Duty because it's free on Game Pass. And again, Microsoft's going the wrong way with Game Pass. I've done prior episodes about this. They're raising the price. That's not the way to grow. So, but I will tell you, if you're paying $30 a month for Game Pass, you are absolutely downloading Call of Duty. And that's why you did it. So again, all those people, and I'm guessing there's 5 million of them, are going to access Call of Duty. Microsoft will figure out their way. They're not on the right path right now. They have a really good idea with Game Pass. They don't have a good business model. They've got to figure that out. I'm hopeful they'll watch Factor and figure out how to do it. I've got all sorts of ideas for them that I will reveal in future episodes. But right now, maybe Battlefield outsells it. Who cares? Guess what? GTA is going to outsell both of them by 2x combined. So GTA is going to sell 50 or 60 million units the first year. So who cares what number one is this holiday? Everybody's looking forward to GTA. That matters much, much more. Okay, fellow babies, thank you for joining us on Factor Live. Again, if you are a Patreon patron or a YouTube subscriber, thank you so much. You are keeping Shane afloat so he's able to continue to produce these episodes. If you are doing that or not, please remember to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. That is free for you. Amazon pays. You pay nothing. It's part of your subscription, so take advantage of that. Amazon will pay Shane, but you have to redo it every month. So check out the instructions in the show description below. Link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. It's 3 clicks. Once you've done that, Shane gets paid. Do it again next month. If you don't have a Twitch Prime account, create one. It's not that hard. And link the accounts to keep this thing happening. Thanks for joining us. I will see you on Factor Live next week.
Like the idea of, hey, dude, here's a new Gears of War. Like, is that something people want?
Somebody put it in the wrong spot.
I mean, like the campaign, and, like I would be up for a new Gears campaign if it's like fun, and certainly the co-op modes in a Gears game have been wonderful at times. But like competitive Gears in 2026, what the fuck is that? Like,
the miniature ones go with the blender, the hand mixer, or the mixer.
It did not lead to a resurgence in people.
Okay, everybody. Fuck Mahars. Okay. We found the culprit. They've been properly punished. Can we move on? I get it, and I know it's from me.
Battle
I
Royale
know.
has kind of, come and become.
We all get it from me. I get it.
I guess the biggest multiplayer mode in shooters right now is still technically Battle Royale. What are you gonna do with your 4-on-4 shotgun rolling simulator? Like who wants to do that, right? I played some Arc Raiders. I forgot to mention it at the top of the show, which maybe that tells you everything you need to know about what I think about Arc Raiders so far. But Arc Raiders seems interesting, and Arc Raiders feels like another game that underscores this concept of like, oh, dude, I don't think I'm ever going to like a game like this. I don't think these games are for normal people. It was more of a feeling of like, this seems well made, and fundamentally, I don't think I want to do this thing. Of like, hey, here's we've I think if you boil down extraction shooter into like, hey, dude, here is Battle Royale, but with more stakes. Like, hey, it's not just you get sent back to the lobby, you get sent back to the lobby with none of your gear. And so the loop becomes you go out there and you try to find a bunch of shit. Here's some wires, and here's a tin can, and here's some blankets, and we're going to bring all this stuff back and craft a bunch of garbage.
Hey, your haircut looks good, Bubs, actually. Did you notice?
You made a gun that's not fun to shoot. Have fun with that, and don't die, because otherwise you will lose the gun that is no fun to shoot. If you stay alive long enough to harvest enough shit, maybe you can make a gun that might be worth shooting.
You should probably round off his back a little. I don't know. It looks kind of good straight across.
That's not for me. I think it's kind of how I felt with the marathon beta thing when they ran that a while ago. And Arc Raiders was kind of another. It's more about self-realization, I suppose, for me. About because I think the genre, when you describe it, I go like, oh yeah, okay. And then I play it and go like,
it wasn't a big game either, baby girl.
Do that.
You gotta remember, like wasn't a big game.
Like for the server slam that they did over the weekend, they filled people's inventory with a bunch of, what seemed like low-level items. And my reaction to getting those guns and going out into the world and shooting them was, I don't like any part of this combat. I'm shooting some drones and some, there's some AI-based enemies in there, and you kind of want to shoot some of those and get some more gear out of them. And like more and more, it feels like, hey, this is a game for people who want to dedicate all of their time to a thing. And if you get really wrapped up in that economy of scavenging versus...
See, we were just talking about that. Just talking about Arc Raiders or whatever.
Really deep into
but like, yeah, it's one of those games where if you enjoy, like, that's the only game you can play.
Doing that.
It's going to take all your time, all your... Like World of Warcraft.
But I think a lot of it is like this realization of just like, you know what?
Even Halo guys
these games just feel
that.
like gambling.
With fucking Halo, dude. They like nothing.
You know what I don't especially
else,
like?
No.
Gambling. You know?
At least the guys who played Madden will like also play GTA.
That tension, I don't think the additional tension of like you're going to lose the stuff you have equipped is a draw for me. Like that is more of a like I don't want to dick around with this. Like this is I don't like I don't want to lose and then have like nothing and then be like, oh well, you can take the free loadout if you don't have any gear. You're like, okay, is the free loadout good? No, it's not. It's not good. Oh well, that's fun. It's like their equivalent of making a driving game where the cars drive bad when you crash them. You know. It's the reason why developers don't do that in big mainstream hits anymore. It's not just the licensing of cars. It's the, hey, driving a car that can barely go is not fun for people to do. They want to just finish the race. So we're going to smooth that out for them. So that you can just drive the car.
It's not like we had to worry.
So, yeah, man.
He wakes up at like 1 or 2. So only day up.
Yeah, I don't think that Arc Raiders is for me. I think that it seems well made for what it is. I think, but I don't. I think that there's just a I don't think that's for me. And furthermore, as I look at it,
that's why I try to give her.
I don't think that genre is something that's going to like people. If developers are coming at it from the perspective of like, oh, dude, we're going to make the next Fortnite. This is the fertile ground that we've been looking for. Battle Royale is so saturated, but this thing is fucking awesome. I think that thing is awesome for not a mainstream level subset of people. I think it is an awesome thing for like a much smaller number of people than these games are getting budgeted at. And maybe Arc Raiders will be the one to prove me wrong, but because it does seem like people are enjoying that game in a much larger scale than. I mean, certainly Marathon, but like Tarkov. I think Tarkov gets a Tarkov has a very specific reputation, right, as being for like fucking malcontents. Like the people who like Escape from Tarkov are disgusting. They're bad people. They probably smell weird. Like the Tarkov, like Tarkov has just such a weird rep to it, right? And I think people see that and go like, oh, dude, Tarkov isn't even on fucking Steam yet. Like, Tarkov is such a niche of a niche of a niche. If we made the mainstream take on that, it could be huge and it could be the next Fortnite. It could be this. But I think that like you're going to, for the same reason that Call of Duty gave you XP to think about even when you lose, I think the idea of real loss inside of these games is going to be a major turnoff for a lot of people. I think that there's just a certain type of person who is not going to come at these games seriously enough to play them properly, and they're gonna fucking bounce off it immediately. They're gonna like, oh, what the fuck? I lost all my shit, dude. Fuck this, and that'll be that.
Freaking bug, dude. Whatever it
But
is,
again,
whatever
maybe
extra
arc
related
raiders for
to.
whatever reason will catch on.
It's not
I'm playing it.
scabies,
I don't think I like the look of the guns. I think the
but
outfits and
it's
some of the other
related
stuff
to
that they
probably
have in
whatever
arc raiders is
scabies
kind of cool.
causes.
Like the art
Because
style of
scabies
it, I
turns
think is
into a
good.
skin thing too.
But that's
And
kind of
it's
all I
probably
would say
caused
about it. I
by
don't know, like from a technical angle, it's like it's fine. It's
your lack of whatever. You know what I mean?
stuff there that's fine.
For scabies causing
Other than
eczema.
I think the art is cool.
How
I
you
don't
would
know
say
what
it.
I don't know what the
But
actual
I think
appeal
now
is to that
eczema
game
is turning
over
into like
other
any
games of its
skin
ilk.
condition,
Is it
any
just that you have a chicken
especially
and the
that
chicken
white
scavenges low-level crafting materials for you in between runs so that when you get back to your base, the chicken's like, I found 8 wires. Like I don't know what the fucking deal is with.
And yes, baby girl, I think I'm almost at the end. Be too long. I thought it would be too complicated. I didn't realize when I saw I forgot about the skill trees and all that shit. When I saw the menus, I was like, oh no, she's not gonna be old enough for this. Like any
Check those for me, please.
what?
Potatoes. Check your potatoes.
Oh.
That game, it does a good job of a natural leading progression.
Yeah.
So it teaches you at a slow enough pace you can adjust it to everything without it being too overwhelming.
Well, I just think I oversalted the fucking fries. Potatoes alone.
No.
No. There's like one shake too fucking many.
You use the spout side or the
Yeah.
That's the
I but oh, I don't know. Very careful. We can just you got a dab of butter, you can stick a dab of butter. Whatever you can. We're out of the way. I'm out of the way. Studio one is out of the way. What was that? What was that one Stephen PS6 jet set radio?
Are you talking about the skating one where you tag stuff?
It was something, but it was like popular. It was like an underground game, you know what I mean? But like you hear about it all the time. Was it might Jet Set Radio or
That was
that one? And then there was like Space Channel 5 or something was another little underground game.
And then you might get out of like the A1. Mustard. Whenever in
A1 would be good. Barbecue sauce would be good with them too, I'm sure.
they're clean right now.
Yeah. Well, on top of it, bro. Izzy Bear. Drink. What needs a nap?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this most you want like it for tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Should I cut her up some, or are we just?
No, I don't know. She's got. Izzy Bear, you hungry, baby girl? You ready to eat? Ready to eat? We have no Dijon.
No, we are out of Dijon. It's just regular mustard. Sorry. Leave her.
You hungry? Come on, you wrap that up, baby girl. Just hit pause. What's the cheese for?
The broccoli.
What?
Yeah, Mom.
Kind of gross.
What?
Broccoli with cheese sauce?
I'm pretty good at that. Gotta try chicken broccoli soup.
Oh yeah, Dad. So for Tuesday.
Yeah, kid. Cheddar broccoli soup. You love cheddar broccoli soup.
Okay, but Dad, I don't know if you're gonna be able to pack my lunch on Tuesday. This is a field trip, and I'm pretty sure it goes to our lunchtime. So I don't know if they're providing us lunch or like.
Pack a lunch for sure.
Good. Because in third grade for Discovery Lab, they just brought us our lunch. So I'm not sure. I'm asking you.
Supply, provide lunch. Sorry, go ahead.
It's essentially a pork Milanese.
It's really good. What's the food? Great people.
Oh. Bless us, O Lord, in these thy gifts you're about to receive from bounty. Through Jesus Christ, the Lord. Amen.
Well, the chops are good, whichever chops you got.
Ooh, they're good.
I counted them out. So they got tender right.
Oh. Well, knew it was a love trick. Love it. Love is always the answer. Baby, go turn it off. Save it.
Can't.
She can't.
It's one.
Do I have a plate? Yes, I do.
It's one of the games that doesn't have a manual save feature.
Do I get to certain points?
That was my one complaint with Bioshock 2.
Feel the bottom of it.
Oh, I did not get that.
No, it's all right. Do you feel that? Mm-hmm. Feel the bottom of that plate. Yeah. That's all right. Yeah. Gotta make sure. That's half Dad's fault. It wasn't this was too long.
Oh, no, so. In Bioshock 3, it didn't let you manually save.
2.
Only 2.
A1 is really good.
Are you sure?
Yep.
What about barbecue sauce?
They're good too.
You don't think you're away without a fork, though.
Can you?
Yeah. I mean, without a knife.
Without a knife.
I'm not using a knife on mine.
Are you not?
No.
No, it's been out pretty tender.
I kind of like them plain.
Do you like them plain?
Chick-fil-A,
the A1.
like, how would Chick-fil-A go with this?
No.
No. Okay. I want some more broccoli.
Yeah, she likes her.
I like my broccoli.
So did you hear about the chess guy that killed himself?
What?
We talked about that already.
We saw something on it.
Well, it's weird because the first video I saw on it was like from one of his friends. And that's why I heard about it in the first place. And he's a big YouTuber, and not even about chess, about other things. Oh, about video games. They jump up, let's switch chairs. So, but it made sense. He would be good at chess too. So, like, he used to play chess a little bit, and so he met some of the other streamer, and blah blah blah. That's how he knows that guy. But That's how I heard about his death, and he was eulogizing him basically as, a really good teacher, a streamer, really helped popularize chess, blah blah
What was his
blah.
name?
Oh man, I forget. I should look it up. It's all on the news right now. So then I'm like, oh, that's sad. He was kind of, and then he didn't mention how he died. I was like, oh, that's sad. He's kind of young. Wonder what happened. Bummer. And then I see the next day, I see a video by the same guy, and he's talking crap about another guy. He's like, I can't stand this guy, who basically had accused the guy that died of cheating. He was like, this guy's a piece of shit. There's never been any proof and blah, blah, blah. He's just trying to bring down, so he was still really doing. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that is kind of, being jealous of people and accusing them of cheating. And that does. And that might have led to his death. So then I'm suspecting, I think it was a self deletion, whatever they call it nowadays. So starting to see more of the picture. And then I catch a video from a lawyer guy that pops up once in a while, and he's not even related to chess. He just talks about cases, in the news, and he from a legal perspective, basically, and a psychological perspective. Well, then it comes out the dude was cheating.
Oh.
And if not blatant, like, yeah, he got caught in a pretty bad, anyways, it's not as black and white as the other guy was trying to make it seem like.
Oh man.
That hurts too.
So, yeah, it seems like he got caught cheating. His life fell apart.
Yeah.
And then he
Self-deleted himself.
So, but just amazing the difference in story that can be put forth out there.
Yeah.
No,
Mom, after dinner.
and no one's saying he's cheating, but he already had cheating allegations against him. And then the night before he erased himself, he was playing online, and like they caught him with a cheat program running in the background or something. And they tried it. Well, I know it looks bad. That doesn't mean he was, but to even have it, it's called some chess engine they use, the big guys.
Yeah.
It's some chess engine. And he had it open on a computer or in another window and then the people could see, he got busted. So then that's when
Yeah. That doesn't look right.
Even the lore guy goes, well, that doesn't mean he was cheating. That doesn't mean. But yeah, that looks really bad.
That does.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Philly.
And then I went back to the penguin guy. The first guy's got long black hair, plays games.
Okay.
Late 20s, probably called Penguin Z0.
Oh, Moist Critical.
He's pretty big. Is that his screen name? Is Moist Critical?
It used to be Moist Critical, but it was like he had to
change it or something.
Yeah,
well, that's
it
a
was
pretty
something.
Pretty iffy name there.
Yeah. But then I made me think back on his video, and he made sure to say, no proof, no. Well, yeah, it's really hard to catch him red-handed, dude. So, and I'm not saying the guy was cheating, but yeah.
But.
Well, now it makes me question Moist Critical, who's a fucking video game streamer. I makes millions of dollars, right?
Probably.
So is he using cheats? And probably not. I know he plays single player, and he's pretty good at games. Because that's his deal. He's good at single player games like Bloodborne
and he doesn't make most of his money off of streaming. It's mainly off his long form, which is his actual
Okay, I'm not. So YouTube.
Yeah.
I didn't mean just streaming, but sorry, I got upset because I feel like you're just picking up. But yeah, either way, he makes a lot of money off the internet. So, but I don't think he can cheat in those single. You'd be able to tell. Those guys would be able to tell, dude.
I mean,
You'd have to have someone else playing for you. And you could do that. You could have another guy sitting here, but that'd be so hard to fake.
It's especially with like those Soulsborns type games.
Those people know those games, dude. They would know instantly if like
I mean,
you got hit 3 times, you only lost this much
you
health.
could
That's
increase your HP or attack,
but
but as far as actual like moving or attacking or stuff like that, it's kind of hard to
and even
cheat
timing, then there's no way. And even if you had a display cheat of some kind, it tells you when to dodge or all, it's still quick reflex though. So, but yeah, that makes you wonder. So, I hope Doc's not cheating, dude.
Oh my gosh, if Doc's cheating.
Hey, don't get pissy. Sorry if I was.
I like my.
I don't think Doc's cheating because he's not that good. Doc is like good to like a casual gamer good.
And then he like crashes out too.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, like I believe that he's not cheating.
So he's like good, but I don't think he's like pro gamer,
like
still in arena good. And he might be, but I don't think that's ever been his thing. Like he's good at, was good at Halo, but I don't think he was
like crazy.
Hey, notice how my hands are in the sink?
Do you watch any gamers, Bubs?
Easy.
I watch what?
Any gamers?
Nope.
I watch It's Funny, which is a type of game.
Yeah. They said walkthroughs have kind of died. I guess people don't watch walkthroughs as much anymore. Well, when there's no games to walk through,
Yeah.
GTA will fix that, dude.
Oh yeah.
No, it's going to be a gold rush for YouTube, dude. First person to post,
When GTA 6 comes out, it's gonna.
First person to find this, first person to post all the videos to whatever it is. They have collectibles.
First person.
So did Vice City come out before San Andreas?
I think so.
Dude, I'm totally got history wrong. That's why I didn't play Vice City, maybe. It wasn't that much of a difference from 3.
And it
looks a lot rougher when I saw videos than San Andreas. I thought it came out after San Andreas.
I think San Andreas came out less than 5 years after Vice.
So that's probably why San Andreas was big too. It was a jump up in technology from 3.
2 or 1?
1. A single Oreo. Those are like treats, bro.
Yeah.
Get something else for dessert. You can have one of those and some candy corn or something. But yeah.
Down the kitty, because it's the surprise of what you're gonna get.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
It's a loot bag?
It's a loot bag, yes. It's a loot bag.
You want the kitty, huh?
I want the kitty so bad.
Yeah, she's been dying for it. And did Izzy get it last night?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. She was like, what? Mom.
Now Lily's acting to me, by the way.
Oh, let's look.
But yeah, so Moist Critical got famous mostly playing games, right?
It's the stinky.
No.
No. What did he get famous
He
for?
was so during like the normie era of YouTube, where the biggest YouTube stars were just regular dudes talking to the camera.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of those.
Oh, like
And
Pitbull,
so
yeah, in the basement talking to a webcam, dude.
He's a left-leaning moderate, and so he's basically, and it's a persona. It's not like his actual.
Yeah.
And he basically just kind of monotonely talks to the camera with like the blandest opinions for about an hour.
Well, that's the videos of him I get now.
Yeah.
But I know he'll mention games or that he played games or so I didn't know.
he's known for being good at video games.
Yeah.
But it's not like what he's known for.
Mm-hmm.
Should I save this or no?
No. What? There's no gravy for it.
No.
But we have pork chops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
There's
what I
no
asked.
gravy for it. Yeah, I toss it.
Yeah, I toss it. It's a stinking pumpkin.
Let me see the pumpkins. Look at the eyes, bro. Come on. Look at the teeth. It's got a
Stinking
pumpkin.
pumpkin. No, I got this one last night.
The same one? You got pumpkin last night?
Oh, but
So pumpkin is the common one?
he's rich.
No, that's what I was gonna tell you. I didn't mean to get upset, but when you said he didn't make that much money, he's in a controversy right now because he won't take super chat for income. You cut all that down. He's a millionaire. And then he was starting to get grief from other streamers, but just caused a little. So no, he posted his receipts, dude. And he's made like, I forgot, it wasn't 36 million? Like in his life, I think was it
Across
36?
his decade plus on YouTube,
But like,
he's made.
just on one thing alone, he's made 360,000 already. I think that was just on Twitch.
It's because he's.
And then he was being honest. He was like, dude, I make my money on ads. And then that was the whole controversy. It was like, anyone over this many subscribers, dude, does not need your because he was mentioning about old school YouTube.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, when we come on YouTube, it was all free content. You did it for free. It was all free. You watched it for free. And so he's like, I'm still kind of that school, but then he's anyone over this many subscribers makes enough money off ads. They don't need your super chat, dude. Like you need to, or smaller creators that do need.
He has such a large audience and is so advertiser friendly.
Yeah.
That he reaches like every age group on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the receipts he was showing. He makes.
And so that he's like his videos are premium real estate for advertisers.
Yeah.
And so not only does he get a lot of ads, but they pay a lot more per 1,000 views.
Wow. So yeah, but that was kind of his point. So he caused a look, but no, he straight up showed his receipts. He showed what he makes, and he says, "Hey, I've got people to pay." He says, "I've got 11 lawyers." It was like, but yeah, I've done really.
Yeah, people with like more mature content will be making like $1 per 1,000 views. But then people like him and kids content, they can be making up $5, $10 without which adds it quick.
That's probably why Brian was so popular.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new term, but it's true. Life-changing money.
Yeah.
There's money, and then it's even $1 million might not be life-changing, but that's pretty close.
It's
If you have $1 million cash,
you have $1 million
you can
cash.
still buy a house. You could buy a house, set up an account for your taxes, your property taxes, your insurance, and as long as the bank or whatever didn't go on, that would be life. Your housing is taken care of. So you can people lose houses all the time, dude. $1 million can go pretty quick. You don't realize. But 50,000 a year, whatever it takes you to live, 40,000, 50,000.
50,000 a year. That's only
How many years does
that's
that
only
get?
20 years.
Boom, it's gone. So no. That's still life-changing money. Once you get to like $1 million. And then it is. You get multiple millions, and it changes your life and your kids'
It's
life.
like
It gives
$1
you security. You don't have to worry about your car anymore. You have cars that run, and you have a house that's warm, and you're not worried about getting evicted.
a millionaire has money, but then a multimillionaire, like millionaire has people working under them, and multimillionaires have millionaires working under them.
Yeah, yeah. So, good job, people.
I'm gonna take this trash one.
You get the other
I got
trash?
the small trash one. I took it out in the floor.
I'll rinse that in a minute. We need to sweep. Okay. And then take this out. You need Sydney to help you with the boxes. You got that. But yeah, let's sweep the shirt. Hey, Sydney, get the door, please, baby.
Oh, and there.
I see.
Yeah, you said ew.
And then one more thing, give me the dustpan, please. The dust brush.
I literally died.
Oh, you did, huh? I thought it was an easy game. What happened? Oh.
Sick.
Oh, ouch.
You're tall.
Hey,
Oh.
and the brush should be in here with it. I wonder what happened. I'm fine. What do you want, baby kitty? Uh, all right, read it to me, please. Is he back to her bed?
Yeah, and there's anything that stuff.
So yeah, I'll find the spot.
Okay, this is what here.
What is it?
Sign.
Let me on my door.
That's what I can do.
Oh yeah, no, it's probably too much. What about the edge of the stick board, whatever you call it, pin board? Can you hang it like on the edge of it? No, baby, oh, that's the size of large knees. You need a 5 gallon bucket of it.
Hey, we're selling 3 gallon buckets.
No, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when we started buying lard, that was the biggest.
All they had.
No, that and then the little butter size one, right? Remember, that was it, dude. I worked it. It's not just us, dude. People are going back.
They had the ones that were like that big around, like
that,
like a yogurt sized one.
No, the other ones that we had before, that was the biggest ones they had. And now they might have had a big, huge one, but they didn't have.
That's the ones I saw. Down on the bottom shelf, it was literally.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I'm not saying that shit's good for us, but I think everyone's realizing it wasn't as bad as that shit they're feeding us. So yeah, lard might not be that great for you. Salt might not be that great for you.
It's everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation, but it's not. That stuff, no, dude.
They were
that fake shit they're feeding us is a lot worse.
It's when they do those studies where like they feed the animal nothing but that exact type of thing.
Yeah.
And then it's no surprise when they like blow up.
It's just that factory lab food failed us. That tank, the astronaut, the space aid, that's what they're no, dude, that's not real. We can't just live in space. We can't drink Tang. That's not like Star Trek is closer. You notice the Star Trek, it makes real food.
Yep.
It's not a figment of your imagination. Well, then, because your body has to digest the lettuce and the tomato. So even in the future, 400 years in the future, they're still eating food.
Still eating roughage.
They're not just they're not eating a pill.
A nutrient paste.
I don't think that shit works.
Everything the body needs.
At least that's what my nutrition professor, her argument is no, it's the process of eating that makes us halfway human. It's how our body works. And we try to, because she wasn't big on vitamin supplements and stuff either.
You poop most of it out.
Yeah, it just goes right out and you pee it right out.
That's why those vitamin supplements have like 1000% your daily intake
because you're only getting a little tiny bit of it. Yeah.
It's called bioavailability. What?
Oh, I was just trying to stay out of Bub's way.
Oh,
Trying to figure out.
I forgot where I learned that, but the bioavailability in a certain amount of food, how much actual macros you get.
So yeah, you notice, and in Star Trek, they're still eating food, bro. And when they get all fancy, they actually cook it. They'll actually. Is one of them a cook? I'm sure one of them does. Probably. Well, in Deep Space Nine or whatever it was, in one of the other shows, uh, they have like an alien cook. I'm pretty sure, like he's a whole character. You know, the cook. Hey, are we not invited?
Yeah, are you?
Dude.
Bub's already took out the trash here. So.
Did you even look? No, he didn't. Come on, Bubs. He didn't even look up.
I don't know where you guys stand.
Mine are up. I think that would say.
Future. Jason, I choose the wrong answer and I perish.
That's how that works.
Last
Don't step on my dirt pile.
Last Christmas was still pretty. Like it was better. Last Christmas was like one of our first.
Yeah, no, it was
Good.
Yeah.
But we were still stressed. Good. Be
Yeah,
careful,
that's.
mic's on.
I was gonna say that's the
Enough
only
stuff at
difference.
work. We
Yeah.
still have funny. But at least we had paychecks coming in. We had steady paycheck coming in.
And I was stressed in that, like, I didn't know if I wanted
Gonna have a yep.
or if I wanted to do this.
No.
I want to put myself through this. Is this money?
Worth.
Is this enough money to make it worth it?
Yep.
Or
No,
do
it's a
I
lot
need
of
to
work.
look at it?
You just working video game, right?
No, that's what we
No.
worked out. It was the year before that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That last Christmas wasn't not our first again back to normal Christmas,
But yeah.
but we were getting there.
Yes.
Like
But
back
yeah,
to zero, back to step one.
But yeah,
yeah,
and
but
not
still, you got to
wanting-
remember, Mom had just started that year. There was funny stuff that went on with her application that took like 6 months to resolve, and then we were still probably paying bills
Oh
back.
yeah, no, it takes you once you get behind, it takes you a good 6 to 8, 9 months
But last year
to
was
catch back around.
last year was at least we weren't
Yeah, and there was no worry about
walking on the verge of homelessness. It was the last, this is 2024, so it was the Christmas of 23.
Yeah, that we were.
The winter of 23, 24 that me and Mom.
That was when Samantha.
Yeah, that was the hard one.
Yep.
And
that's
then
when we were working to be okay.
and last Christmas was the first Christmas that, although things weren't like relaxed, it was the first Christmas we didn't really have to worry about Christmas presents.
Yep.
Like it was good. It was
Yep.
fine. Like there was no need to freak
Yep.
out or It wasn't down
we
to the
made it.
wire. We made
Yep,
it.
we
So
made it.
This year's gonna be weird.
We could actually have the Christmas presents before Christmas.
yeah. And there was no. So that's
Yeah.
what last year was. But yeah, it does. It takes us a minute. See, that's why we don't feel like it was last year because
We're
things
still
were
trauma that we're still.
yes, and we were still coming out of the
I was in
trauma
shock last year that it had only been a year since the
since the
BOK. I
BOK.
was like, dude, that was only last.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was last winter, dude.
Mhm. Well, and
So
that
yeah, that was
was
only 2 winters ago.
yeah. Well, and that was less than 6 months before I was
Yep.
cleaning toilets at the casino.
Uh-huh.
Like, no, I mean, I hadn't.
Yep.
And then, like, yeah, like I was telling your dad, like I didn't.
Forgot you worked at the casino.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, I worked there for like 9
6
months.
months,
No,
9 months.
It was a
Yep.
while.
I still remember Dad, you waking us up in the pallet and you guys being like, Sydney, Isabel, get in the car.
Do you like that? That
We're
was
gonna go
fun,
to the
actually. It
It was
sucked.
like that.
I never did leave him here. Did I leave him here?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think I ever did. I was right
No.
on the edge. Where was Sis and Bugs?
They were here, I think, but
No, they were not.
When what?
When I went and picked up Mom from work, I used to have to put the kids in the car. Camping.
oh, a lot of times
A
they
lot
were
of time you
camping.
guys went
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Knock it off.
So I'd be torn between just, hey, quit, hey, kick him. He's trying to,
Yeah.
get on top of it. Yep. Uh,
You don't like it?
no, he's trying to be her boyfriend, and
Yeah.
she's
And
not,
she's fit.
and she's saying no.
Mm-hmm.
She's not in the mood. She
Strong
doesn't want to be
man,
messed with.
Yeah.
And Cat's talking violence. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Casino camping.
Oh yeah, because no, I was torn between just leaving them here asleep, because they'd be asleep. I'd be like, man, it's a 5-minute drive, but I get horrified of them waking up. And Sydney that was 2 years ago, so she was only 7.
I still remember that one time at when we were camping last Cub, and you had like gone up to like go to the toilet or something, and I woke up and you weren't there, and I freaked out.
Did you?
So I was like 8 or 6.
I don't remember that.
Oh, where's my dad?
Uh-uh.
And I was like standing there terrified, and he came back. I was like, Dad, where were you? I just go to the bath. Then at night, I just happened to wake up.
Oh, but yeah, so that's the reason I never left him. I'd always have to wake him up because I was terrified of them
Yeah.
waking up.
But yeah, but no, this time,
Oh, anyways, point being, it was a fun little adventure. Waking you guys up. We go pick up Mom.
but this time last year, like, yeah, I was stressed. Like I was really.
And we only had Zumi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Zumi had 200,000 miles on it.
And
it would stall.
And yeah.
Oh, and yes, and it was
wasn't
stalling.
as bad as it was.
But no, it was
the
getting
beginning
worse
of
and
whenever
worse,
it
and we
came
had
back.
no money to put it in the shop.
Yeah. So yeah.
So no, it was
So
close.
we
It
were
was rough.
still stressed, and yeah, I was still unsure about teaching because I was so stressed. I was stressed about the grades. I was stressed about
She could have crashed
teaching.
out.
I was close to crashing out. Like I mean, I
It
didn't
was too
know.
that was that first testing, and you didn't know that it wasn't, not that it's not a big deal, but like no, she was stressed out,
Mm-hmm.
stressed out. And then you get through your testing, and you realize it's not the end of the world, and you just do what you can do and teach. But yeah, we didn't know if your mom's gonna be able to handle it too.
No, no, and the grading.
It's a lot of work, and to
all
go
of it.
from like 0 to that. Like it's one thing when you're coming out of college,
That's different.
like your
Like,
sister
yeah,
right
you-
now,
you're
she's all
prepped
fired
ready.
up. She's
You're-
talking to people. She's doing.
Um,
But when you go from like, yeah, working at the Osage Casino,
Going from stay-at-home mom
yeah,
and to just a simple manual blue-collar job.
No, where you don't
You're-
have to think.
you're
Like,
just doing your job. You
I
do
don't
what you're
mean that
told.
bad.
That's my
Yeah.
They tell you what to do.
It's almost comforting.
Yeah, you do it. You're there from this hour to this hour.
Now going to
And
a
you don't have to think about it till you walk through the doors, and then as soon as you walk out of the doors, you no longer have to think about it. Like there's nothing.
high stress situation where the
No.
product is people's children.
Yeah,
No, that's the product,
You
bro.
are literally
It's not a bot. It's people's children. So yeah, they get.
really stepping in as their
Make
parent
me a
or
cup of coffee,
guardian
please, Bubs.
during those 8 hours they're with you a day.
But it's not,
But it's more than that.
but
Yep.
yeah, it's way more than, it's not
And on
just,
top of that, a lot of the parents have unrealistic expectations about what teachers are
if
capable
it
of
was
doing.
just about being their guardian for 8 hours
Like
a
you
day,
can't just drop
it
your
wouldn't be
kids
a big
off
deal. Like,
and magically.
This is fresh.
Oh, that's a bummer.
oh,
I
that
didn't
is,
take it all the way out.
Ouch.
It was
Just
packed,
put some on top.
it was packed in there.
Make sure you pack it, not super tight, but make sure you pack it full, please. But people have unrealistic, so did everybody does. Most Americans do. They think you just drop your kid off at school and boom, you're going to pick them up 15 years later. And that's not how it fucking works. Those teachers can only do so much. Oh, they only have so much time. They only have so much. So then you're teaching parents that not only are you teaching the student, but then you have to deal with adults and have to teach them hey, you got to help
you're gonna have to know.
how to be a good parent. And not parent, but how to or come to terms with who their fucking kid is.
Yes,
And your dreams of what you dreamt, that's not
Doctor or lawyer
or whatever, or astronaut or sports athlete. Like I'm sorry, yeah.
Well, not about that. It's not about that, but it's just about understanding that, yeah, and if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You know what I mean? But then, yeah, this is your package then.
Yep.
This is what they're willing to put forth, and this is not the best they can do. But yeah, you only have so much.
And if you're not going to work with, or just, but it's just teaching and people growing, and then you're in that with them. So
yeah.
So yeah, it was. Any point being, back to the original, it was tough. It was a lot of stress all at once. Oh, she's in here talking with the family.
I know.
Look at her. She doesn't want to go. To pull. Yeah. Start talking all loud. You want to talk with the big kids?
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I had anybody to talk to.
Yeah, you get off topic.
No, dude, everybody died. My mom fucking died. She's not dead yet, but yeah, my mom, they all went to California, dude.
And I'm your kid.
They all fucking, my Uncle Jay died, and then everybody fucking left and went back to California. And they don't talk. We just went out there. You saw how that went. Without my mom there to help fuel everything. Like, it's those pieces. It's all those little pieces that come for a family, dude. No, it's harder than you think to have a family.
Stormy talked too.
And Stormy talked too, and kept everybody from getting too pissy.
Yeah, like Grammy, she was a talker, like a talker, and basically Grammy spurred her children
to talk.
And then once the children got spurred, like even some of the older grandkids, Jaylene, they kind of be in the outside, and they would try to. But then, then Stormy was a talker, and basically, when things got too heated, Stormy was basically in there for the not comic relief per se.
He'd say something silly or do something silly. He had he had a natural social instinct.
Yeah.
How some people are just born with, can hit a baseball. Some people are super good looking. Stormy he had a natural social.
I've met people like that.
Ability. They're just social. Stormy was a social kid.
And he was very good with his Grammy. Like when his Grammy would get, Stormy just had a way of saying stuff to her that then she would.
Yep, she'd laugh off.
Shut up.
Yep. So, but anyways, it's been a while, dude, since we had family. How long has it been since my sister died, dude? And my fucking sister died, dude. So yeah, there's been nobody to talk to. And your mom doesn't talk to me. She just listens.
7 or 8 years?
No, she does. Your mom just listens to me, and then she'll talk when she talks, but she doesn't talk.
Veronica has been gone. No.
And then your grandma's, your mom's family talked, dude. When you got your Aunt Julie and your mom together, dude, I couldn't talk.
Nobody could.
No, I could not. No, they would because they wouldn't shut up.
No, impossible.
They just those Yankees. They had that Yankee thing where no one really this in Michigan. They did that a lot. Like before you and I are done talking, someone else will start, and then we just kind of escalate. Well, that guy's already. It's just a Yankee thing. There's no gap. People talk over each other up there, and it's just kind of natural, and it just kind of like
Yeah, there was my mom, my aunt, and then dad didn't get to see her as much, but then there was my aunt Diana, who was actually one of those like Jay. She was like the youngest. She was
yeah.
actually my grandma Elaine's sister,
Go crack that door,
but
please,
she was
Sydney.
like the baby. Like she
Yeah,
was born like after everybody else.
yeah. So
So she was
the door.
So she was mom and Aunt
Just
Julie's
crack it a
age.
little bit. Let some airflow in,
But
please.
like, oh my God, those three women got together. Like there wasn't anyone else in the room, and there
Yep.
was no way you were ever going to get a word in
Mm-hmm.
edgewise. Like, no, they were
Yep.
talkers.
Yep.
It's like crazy.
And the other difference is talking about something, not just talking about. That's what they do in Oklahoma. Shelly's, Cassidy's mom's a talker,
But not
Like
about.
a casual talking.
but
But
they
not
just they
about.
talk about their lives, and that's not bad. But they don't talk about abstract. They talk about their lives, their kids, the stuff they're doing,
Um,
and that's fine. But
that's
but
Wait to go back to as reference. Sydney was not even a year old yet when Veronica died. So you
really,
yes.
What?
you don't
She
remember
was
Aunt V at all?
no.
no
She
shit.
was in the
So
Aunt B came and visited her at the hospital. She watched the kids when Sydney was born.
yeah,
But
I remember on that couch.
so
Yeah,
that was June, and then Veronica died in January,
and that was Gable Hills.
and that was Gable
Jesus,
Hills.
yeah,
And then we
yeah.
were in Michigan at her first birthday.
Damn.
So
You're 9 now?
she's 9 now. So
Yeah.
Veronica's
Turning
been
10.
gone a little
9
under
years.
9 years,
Yeah, so it's been a decade since my sister left.
which it doesn't feel
Just
like
under
that
9
long.
years.
No,
It doesn't, because at
no,
first thought I was like, no, it was when Izzy was born. I was like, no, Veronica never met
no,
Izzy. We were all alone.
Because I
We
was
didn't have any family when Izzy was
no.
born.
about to
That's
say
why
9
I
or
left.
10 years because I remember I barely remember the funeral. I was like, yeah, I'd be like 6. We were like 6 years
Do
old.
you remember the funeral?
At Hillspring, the one,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
or Hillsong, whatever it's called.
I think
I
it's
think
was
Hillspring. I
Hillspring.
think it's Hillspring.
It's
Sis went to Girl Scouts there too for a little while.
Yeah.
it's not even a church.
Is it not? They changed it to something else?
They moved locations. So I don't know
Which
if
really sucks. That was a big building. You think that church would have. That's how those Protestant churches come and go. They're usually built on a person, is why. And when something happened, yeah,
so I don't know who bought that building, but yeah, they moved.
yeah. No, it's not. It's more than one building. They have that one the chapel,
The
and then
outside.
there's stuff attached, and they've got it's a big property.
Who's I go to? So I went to one of them.
No.
Mm-mm.
No?
You've never been to a funeral?
Nope.
No?
No.
No. Stormy didn't have a funeral. That's the only person that's died since you.
Is it Michigan? Because I remember going somewhere, then we like ate after and went to the break.
You're also like sleeping room.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
No, I don't think. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you're thinking about I don't know moving or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, but yeah, I don't.
I still remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost our cat when we moved.
Yeah. No, we had to leave that cat. Sorry.
Didn't we we couldn't find it?
No, Jen
Mhm.
got that cat. He ran off right at the end. But we were gonna probably leave him with Jen anyways. So, but we couldn't find him at the end. And he's fine. He's a cat. Cats are fine.
There are cats at different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's that.
What was I gonna say? Totally forgot. You guys mind robbed me.
Oh.
It was something about Michigan. I can't. Oh, we got that $800 paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Was it just $800? Was that all it was?
What, in Michigan?
That was a little bit more 10 years ago, though. $800 ain't shit now. I got an $800 paycheck for something. I can't remember what I did, and Mom said she would homeschool you guys. So I think no, dude. 2 days later we were gone. 2 or 3 days later we were gone. So
Yeah.
thing really tying us down. And then homeschool was becoming more and more common.
We also, that was the deal was, you got that check. I had said I was homeschooling. Then you got that check. Then you were like, if you're homeschooling, there's nothing keeping us here. That's enough to get a truck and get out of here.
It was enough to
And
get.
then we went to, and then I called my dad, and that was
Yeah.
the deal. We went to Grandpa Matt's.
Yeah. And then I
And
went to
then-
work for Cliff
and then
because
you
I
went-
had a job waiting
Yep.
for me.
And
So I had that check. I had a job waiting for me when I got here. And we dropped you guys off in Springfield.
And we stayed there for like 2 or 3
Did we
weeks.
get a truck?
No.
I thought we packed a van. No, dude.
We were gonna get a truck, and then we decided no, we were going to throw it all in storage.
Oh no! See, we did.
We're
We
gonna-
no. See, we got the effort. We threw it all in storage,
Everything. We
Yeah.
everything.
and then we filled that van, that blue van,
all the way to the
all
top.
the way to the
with
top.
Like there was
We
a
had the
mattress
blue
in
van
there.
and Zoomy.
Mm-hmm. So we filled them all the way to the top.
You guys were in
We
Zoomy.
left a bunch of furniture. We threw a bunch of stuff away in the garage, and everything else we threw in a storage thing. And we said when we got enough money, we'll come back up. Which
And we
did.
did.
It was like the beginning of November.
We went
I
back up
remember,
there.
before the holidays.
Yeah. Was that just me and Bubs went up there?
Nope, we all went back
Did we
up
go
there.
back up there?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We all
We
went
loaded
back up
that
there.
U-Haul up.
Me and Samantha took turns riding you up.
Yep. No, that was quite the adventure.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a picture of the Michigan lights. We went crazy with them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, but yeah.
And then what's called that was also the year Samantha, the first year in middle school, which was not so good.
Is middle school bad?
What is Samantha's middle school experience like? Bro?
No, she started when we went. The first year we were in Michigan, she was in 5th grade. It was right before middle school.
Yeah. No, just when school starts to get rough.
But
And yeah, those kids at Grass Lake have been going to school together since 1st grade, dude.
5th grade was rough
Oh,
because basically it was a small school. They all knew each other,
yep.
and you weren't anybody if you weren't in sports, I guess. And then everybody else was just secondary.
Mhm.
And so she had a hard time making friends. And she finally did make friends, but then entered in middle school. And she had a better time in middle school, but I had a problem with middle school.
Yeah.
What was it?
We just nothing. That's yeah.
Adult problems. Adult opinions.
School problems. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, people get. Love you guys.
It's school night. Go get showered.
Don't be staring at me.
Yeah.
I got gang territory to take, people.
Got grades to do. Sorry.
Mom's got grades to do. I'm watching you.
Joseph! Leave it at that after you're done with it.
Okay. We don't have to talk so grumpy.
Aggro.
Yeah, and I got an army of conquered Uruk.
Do you? Do you?
All right. Proper black speech pronunciation.
Yeah.
Because in the language of men it's orc, but the language of dark speech is Uruk.
Okay, okay.
So baby.
Stupid anti-hero games. Trying to humanize the orcs.
There's tools to my revenge on Sauron.
They're vehicles of evil, yeah. Oh, you're all armed. Gotcha.
That's cool.
Careful.
Put you on ice. You lost the will to live yet? You
Come
gonna
on,
pass
dude,
that
roll
on me?
with me.
Respect the ink,
Hey,
dude.
dude,
We all
homie,
on
let's
the
roll
hoorah.
on some busters. Hey, let's
I got no juice with CJ.
Damn, you gonna roll with me?
Cool, what's up? Let's roll. Get your fat ass up, stay close. Get that heap of crap out the way, man. Fool. Come on, stay close. Get your fat ass up, stay close. Blast on them. Oh, yeah. Lady. Oh, yeah, baby. Boggles, eat my shit. Come on, stay close.
Freaking cops on me. Ah.
What you dudes waiting for? This it? What y'all waiting for?
Cops, too.
Kill him, homeboy. What you make me? Get your fat ass up, stay close. That's going in my retirement fund. Alright. Show me more what my face is. That's mine. Ball is getting a takedown. What you dudes waiting for? Homeboy need to be silenced. Bust on. Wish. This the best you got? You wanna get blasted, fool? You don't need it now. Ah, you so kind.
With that shit, man. But hey, we'll see. We'll see, man. That game's out. That game is also out next week. So
67. All right.
$199, $245, $285. Hot, hot. You guessed it. Glover touchdown tosses.
we'll see. Seemed like a whole lot of people were playing it for free. We'll see how many of them got the bug and want to follow through with it, but I don't know. The only moment, the only like moment I had playing that game over the weekend that I feel is like worth talking about, where I had one thing where I was like, yeah. I had gone and I had found a bunch of
Dude, it's
fucking
weird. Like
wires and
all the
shit.
people
Bunch
I
of garbage that I
follow
was like,
are
well, I don't know. Like it
contrarians.
wants me to have 6 wires for this
And even
mission
to
that the
me,
lady gave me at the
I don't
base,
know
and I've
why.
got that
I can
now, I
just
think. So I should
guarantee
probably
that the
leave.
guys that I
And so I
listen
went and I
to
found an
won't like
elevator
the things that I
and
like.
went to go
It's
get on
just
an
a weird.
elevator. And when you
It's a
trigger
weird
the
thing.
elevator,
I
it
don't
takes some
know
time for
why
it,
I'm like that.
like these games all do. You go and hit the button,
You
and
know
then
what I mean?
time has
Like
to pass
I don't
before
know
the
why,
elevator
but
opens up
it
and you can
always
leave.
is.
Just like with a helicopter coming in to extract you, or whatever other games in the genre have done. So I hit the button and I go hide in a
like this
bush
game, or I
because I know
think
some
this, and I
dumb
go
fuck is
listen
going
to
to come try to
people,
kill
and
me.
it's always the
As the
exact.
elevator is getting
Remember
there,
back in the game, so no
I
one. It was
emerge from the
always
bush,
the exact
and
opposite.
someone from the other side of the
Jeff would
elevator's tall.
always
You
say
can't
the
really see around it.
exact opposite of what I was saying. No,
Someone must have seen me or something. They throw a grenade
like
my
it's
way.
just weird, but I still
It
listen.
comes
I
over and
still,
it explodes. And I'm like, well,
but
what the
they
fuck? There's
all.
somebody here.
It's always
So
the
I go around the
exact
other way.
opposite.
I shoot him a bunch with a gun that like it shoots 5 times and then you have to
Like the
reload
guys
it,
I
but it
listen
shoots
to
full
love
auto those
Dark
times, and then you
Souls.
have to go through a
You know,
long
like
reload
fuck,
process before you can
dude.
shoot it
Like,
again. So it was
but
like a
then
really
why do I
dumb
listen to
fight that
them?
I
I
had with
don't
this guy.
know. I don't know.
But I ended up dropping him, and
Huh?
he doesn't drop like there's a down but not out system in the game. So you knock the guy down, and he's crawling around. I run up to him, and I keep shooting him. I'm like, I need to take this guy out all the way. What the fuck's going on? I shoot him a bunch. That doesn't do it. There's like, when you get up close, it says hit the square button to knock him out or whatever. I hit that. Nothing happens. I hold it down. Nothing happens.
Hit that. Nothing
Turns out the process is you need to mash the button to fill a meter before you'll hit this guy and actually kill him for whatever reason. All the while, he is crawling onto the elevator because you can do that apparently. If you're down, you can still crawl into the elevator and you can still hit the button on the elevator to escape, which I'm sure would be a very thrilling escape if you successfully did that. So he's crawling onto the elevator. And I'm still trying to figure out how to fucking kill this guy. I'm like, do I shoot him a bunch? Like the gun takes forever to reload, so I'm not going to waste a bunch of bullets trying to shoot him. I don't know what the fuck am I doing. Like I need to mash this button, I guess. And as I figure out, oh shit, I need to mash the button, he is reaching up to push the button. And I could have just let him extract with his stuff. That would have been like the nice guy thing to do, right? Like, oh, we both get to escape with our things. But no. That motherfucker threw a fucking grenade at me. He could fucking eat a dick. So I fucking killed him as the game was fading out. As the elevator was getting ready to start fading out, I fucking ended him. Fuck him. If that was you, fuck you. You didn't need to start shit.
What are you talking about?
If you didn't start shit, there wouldn't be shit. We could have both walked onto that elevator. That would have been that. So that was kind of cool. But it emerged from like the controls being fucking weird, right? And not know, like, okay, I got to mash this button to get him, and whatever else, you know, and all of that. So, so that was like the one thing I did that I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, fuck him. But then I got back to the base, and it was like, here's you found your wires. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I got my wires.
Yeah.
Now what? Go out and get more wires? That was also my last round in the game. I was like, okay, good, cool. All right, done. Quit. Why don't we take a few emails here? podcast@guard.bike is the email address. Send me an email right now. If you send me one right now, maybe I will read it next week. But let's see what we got here. From folks over the last week or so here. I need to look this up real quick. John from Greece wrote in.
Emails.
Okay, yeah, this is something that The Verge is reporting.
I had a broken windshield and I had to file a claim for that. The good news is I had glass coverage on my insurance.
Damn, Jeff.
The
How many
price of an
commercials am I
Xbox
going to
dev
get?
kit is going up. They were $1,500. They are going to be $2,000. The Xbox dev kit is you can develop Xbox games on a lot of different things. The Xbox dev kit has a little readout on the front of it. If I remember correctly, it has a little LED readout on it that'll tell you the current frame rate and some other kind of
Can you give me
performance
2
metrics.
seconds? But yeah, I
that,
just
you
brought
can
your
get on the
charger
dev
here,
kit
so you
without
can
having
take
to
that one
necessarily
back to your
build
mom.
those sort of things into the game itself.
Where did that?
You had 2 of them back there.
Oh, okay.
That's effective immediately. They are saying it is because of they issued a development. They
But
issued
yeah,
an
I'm
announcement
into
to
video
Xbox
games, but
developers
I
that
just
The Verge got to look at. This is not
no
like a
one else
public-facing
who's into
thing.
video
Says the
games seems
adjustment
to
reflects
think like
macroeconomic
me.
developments. We remain committed to
I mean,
providing
I'm not
high-quality
bad, but
tools and
like,
support
it
for your
just,
development efforts.
I guess I'm in a really small crowd. I don't
Yeah, I mean,
know.
there
I
are going to
don't,
be tariffs on those as well, right? So it's kind of
but it's like I'm between a rock and a hard
par for the
place. It's
course.
either like hardcore ass gamers
I
or
wonder how many Xbox developers
Call
are
of Duty,
developing
Candy
fully
Crush.
on
I don't know.
Xbox dev kits. I would
It's
assume that a
on
lot
one
of
side you
development
got
is
the
just happening on
hardcore gamer
PC,
who have
and then
hundreds
when
of
you start
games on their
optimizing
wall. You know, like their
specifically
game
for
market,
console, you
or
maybe
you
want to
have
use
the
2
gamers who play
kits.
one game,
But I don't know. I don't
and
know how
that's
much of
it.
that just
So
exists
are
on
they
PC
even
today.
gamer? Are you a
If you can just kind
gamer?
of do a lot of that work there and
Yeah,
kind of move
that's
it
what I
over.
mean.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure it's more
I'm
complicated
stuck
than that.
between
Anyway,
those two.
John from Greece writes in and
And
says, I just saw
everyone
that they're
plays
raising the
games
price of dev
nowadays. I
kits. At
think
this point, I think
there's
they're trying to
everybody. I
sabotage
think
their own
has
brand
played a
intentionally.
game.
For whatever
And
reason,
I
they
could
don't
be,
want to
but
say
even
they are dropping
girls, like
Xbox
there's
like
been
Sega
some
did with the
game they
Dreamcast, so
played
they
or they
decided to
enjoyed.
increase all their prices to what they know are unreasonable levels and let the market kill them naturally. What do you think? I think that tariffs and I
But
think
yeah,
exactly what
playing
they said, that the
GTA for
macroeconomic
150
environment is
hours
dog shit. Like it's,
isn't appealing to them.
there's a
Yeah,
lot of fucking shit happening external to Microsoft that is also impacting a lot of this stuff. It's why the ROG thing is $1,000. It shouldn't be. There's
just
no
feels like a lot
universe
of it's just
in which
fucking
this device
damage
should
control,
cost
dude. It just feels like
$1,000.
everyone doing
But here we
damage
are
control.
anyway.
Like
And so I think
Perch
dev kit
even. It
costs
just
going
feels
up.
like a dude in a suit and tie,
The
like
developers that are
Anton,
probably using a lot of those kits
constantly
are,
just oh no, trying to
a lot of them probably have them already.
damage control, fucking
This late in the
everything. Everything's
generation, I wonder
okay.
how many dev
Everything
kits they're even
we're
selling
totally in
these days.
control.
Especially
We
to
know what's going
larger,
on.
like
Know
the
that
EAs of the world. Like how
appeal
many
to
more dev
authority.
kits
They're
do they need? Are they
constantly.
spinning up new studios all around the world? No, not really. There are
But
occasionally,
when you're
and so
part of
maybe
the
they do need to put
system,
in an
that's what
order
you
on an
defend
annual
the
basis. Like,
system.
oh, we need another 50 of these. But to a company the size of EA that is buying dev kits in those sorts of quantities,
All right,
like, it's
it's
like
around
whatever.
66, bro.
It's just part of the budget, right? If you are a solo developer, then I wonder if you even need one of those things. You can get a console and flip it into dev mode and do some work there.
Oh, and I
You can
just
work
got
on
the
the
territory
PC.
back. I just sprayed that.
I don't know enough about current methods of Xbox development to know exactly how many of these things a small developer would even need.
Right
The
here
answer
somewhere.
might
What's
actually
this
be
all
zero.
about? There we go, bros.
I guess my short version of this is I don't think it matters. We're late enough in the generation that most people that are going to make games for an Xbox already are, and they already have these dev kits. Who cares?
See, Jeff doing damage control for Microsoft.
And that
always does.
The same reasons
And
why
that's not
all
what
of
he's saying
every
is
other
wrong,
piece of
but it's the
technology
narrative
costs way too
spin.
much
That's
money
what's so
now,
important. They
is also
found out.
going to
It's just
impact
the
stuff
little
like dev kits.
spin you put on everything.
You could say,
dude.
oh, well, Microsoft should just eat the cost in order to
Yeah, Jeff always
facilitate
carries the water
development on their
for
console.
Microsoft.
We're
Always
super late in the
has.
generation. They're not out there advocating for, like, you need to be making games on the Xbox Series X. What do you do? Have you heard of the Xbox Series X? We got a dev kit that makes games for it. It's a brand new console. Like, it's out there. It's established.
There's just people who like to down skeptics
they're not
almost.
in
They
that
like to play the
part
skeptic.
of that phase of the generation where they're doing
The
that level of
reasonable guy.
advocacy.
Yeah,
They don't need to. And so, at the same time, I would also wonder who is buying a dev kit in 2025 to begin with.
Got it. Barely.
Let's see. Troy from Atlanta writes in and just says, I'll just buy video games. With the most recent hike in Xbox's subscription pricing, I'm feeling now more than ever that I made the right choice in canceling all these subscriptions some time ago. I'm so tired of subscriptions for everything. I'll just buy games outright. I know that I still technically don't own the digital games, but at least I only have to pay for it once. Do you think more people coming to this conclusion would be better or worse for the industry as a whole? Probably better. I mean, you know, like if a developer can sign a Game Pass deal and get some money from that, and then also still sell copies of games, then maybe that's the best of both worlds in some sick way. I don't know. But yeah, I think, you know, like developers set their price, and if they can sell copies of games, then great. I think one of the big benefits that you used to talk about with regards to Game Pass and other subscription services was this idea of word of mouth. And if you were launching on Game Pass, you would have a lot of people playing and talking about your game. And so that might help fuel purchases on other platforms if you are making a multi-platform game. For smaller studios who have to pick and choose where they port their game to begin with, I think a lot of those smaller studios are only porting to Xbox if they know they can get a Game Pass deal in the first place, because otherwise it might not be worth it for them to prioritize Xbox over PlayStation or Switch. So I think that is a bit of, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I have a great answer to is it better. I think it's probably better for the industry if we move back to buying games. Because I don't know that word of mouth is going to happen one way or the other anymore. It's felt off for a while now with like Game Pass launches, especially for multiplayer games like your FBC Firebreaks and your Anacrusises of the world. That like those launches didn't necessarily seed the community in a way that led to more sales of the games themselves, especially if they were to exit Game Pass or what have you. You know, Remedy just had to issue a profit warning about FBC Firebreak, and they launched on both Xbox and PlayStation's subscription services. So it feels like the word, especially, you know, maybe it's just also a factor of multiplayer gaming and, you know, like people have their multiplayer games that they like to play with people, and they aren't all looking for new games, you know, and so it's entirely possible that FBC Firebreak launched, and even people who would have liked it maybe never bothered to play it because they're playing fucking one of the 9 other big multiplayer games that are out or something. You know, I think there's you run into situations like that as well. But I don't think Game Pass is a viable. Like, I don't think Game Pass is like a recommendable thing at this point. And unless you're such a highly specific type of player who wants to play like X number of games and this many of this, and you care enough about this, and this, and you know, and you're going to definitely play this number of day one games every year, and you know that you're counting on Microsoft to go out there and not only continue to ship games that are of high quality, but also to do good deals with third parties to get their games to launch on the service, which doesn't feel like it's happening. You know, like day one launches on Xbox haven't been, like, especially from third parties, have not been the largest, biggest games. Biggest like mainstream hits or whatever, right? Like Pal World, I think eventually became obviously like a massive hit, and that did well. Clair Obscur was a good choice for a Game Pass kind of thing and what have you. But like ultimately, it comes down to just like, I think you have to look at the first party output first and foremost, and because that at least you can rely on for being a day one launch. And then you have to look at the rest of it and go like, maybe they'll get Monster Hunter. Maybe Monster Hunter will be a day one game, and you know whatnot. But maybe they end up in a situation like that where there's some big multiplayer game that they get on day one. They published Ninja Gaiden 4. Like that is an Xbox game. That is Microsoft published video game right there. So that is on Game Pass. Keeper obviously is on Game Pass because they own Double Fine. And then Outer Worlds 2 is still coming up from them as well. So, you know, like if you can count on your fingers and do the math and figure out they publish enough games every year that I would buy, and if you can get to $360, then maybe Game Pass is still a value for you. But I feel like I feel like you can no longer make that assumption. In some weird way, I feel like the latest Game Pass price hike puts video game reviews back on the table.
It's the best you got.
And I remember reviewing like Crackdown, like the last Crackdown and some of that other stuff and being like, this seems pointless because you should probably just subscribe to Game Pass anyway. And if you're subscribed to Game Pass, you should play Crackdown. Is Crackdown a good game? No. Is it something that you should fuck around with for a few hours because it's just right there and you might as well? Yes, absolutely. And so by virtue of Game Pass now being a very shaky proposition,
I take that.
Game reviews are back, baby.
Game reviews are
time,
back.
too.
True though.
Video game journalism is saved. I'm getting word now. It is not saved. Shit. Fuck. But do I think, do I think this is better or worse for the industry? I think for, like it kind of doesn't matter. I think it's going to head in that direction no matter what. And I think that, maybe more people just buying games ends up being a better thing for a lot of games. But it is still a highly competitive landscape out there. And so, we do come back to this question of like, how do you break through the noise? There was a story that I saw earlier this morning saying that like, there are like 5,000 games on Steam that launched and didn't sell enough copies to make back the $100 that Valve charges to publish a game on Steam. And some of those games don't deserve to make $100. Some of them are, hey, we republished the Unity tutorial for the 800th time on Steam. Congratulations, it's a new record. There's a lot of hobbyist projects and stuff that show up on Steam because someone just said, fuck it, man, I got $100 and did zero marketing and it's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's on Steam, but like, it's not, it's not serious people trying to sell a video game and trying to make a commercial product and try blah, 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 right? So it's kind of a different, some of those games, like we're never going to make that $100 back. But that doesn't necessarily... Okay, yeah, what's happening, dude? You're just fucking missing bullets, dude. You're just fucking bulletproof, bro. Come on, dude. Fucking bulletproof, dude. That is still kind of a larger... Fucking bulletproof. No, they'll just... Sometimes the bullets will just whiff, dude. I mentioned this at the top of the show. Frustrating. And yes.
I like to share too.
I told my friend yesterday that Double Fine released a new game last week and he was shocked. He had no idea they were making a new game, much less releasing one last week. Taking a look at the low count of Steam reviews and general buzz, it seems like it's an extremely quiet launch all around. What I wonder is how much of the Game Pass shenanigans a few weeks ago might have affected this. The game feels like it's straight out of the Xbox playbook of a few years ago. An indie darling released only on Xbox and PC that's primed for Game Pass to help elevate the platform and show off the variety of games that Xbox is investing in. Obviously, that's not the plan anymore. The plan now being to release on as many platforms as possible. But I think that would have typically happened. There's a ton of Game Pass people playing Keeper, generating a lot of buzz and elevating sales off Game Pass, including PC. Now that a lot of people have canceled their Game Pass memberships or downgraded their tiers to not have day one releases, which I don't think that's actually possible yet because I don't think, like the change doesn't roll out until, is it November 8th or something? We're still a few weeks off from... Okay, just go. Just go, dude. You got to get back around. You got to get back around to the zone. Yes. Go, 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 go. Oh, fuck, dude, you're a long way from the war zone. Oh, my God. Come on, go, 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 go. It didn't really occur to me how the Game Pass changes could affect game launches for smaller games. Dude, where are you guys going? But I wonder now, how will this affect those types of games in the future? Go, 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 go,
yeah,
go,
man.
go, go,
So,
go, go.
yes, oh, that'll work.
I do think that, like...
Oh, come on, get back in, get back in.
It's funny, because Microsoft has
I'm back in, I'm
dominated
back
a
in.
pretty
Go, go, go,
large
go, 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 go.
of the discussion, like the news-type discussion around games, because they've been, they've got their fingerprints on this handheld thing.
Where are you guys going?
And they're launching 3 games back to back to back. So, like, these last few weeks have been, like, there's been a lot from them. But the other thing I'll say is that, like I said, it really feels like that they did not promote Keeper. Pat Bear in chat says Double Fine promoted the anniversary of Brutal Legend more than Keeper. Yeah. Like I definitely saw more posts from Tim Schafer and the Double Fine stuff about like, hey man, we're online playing Brutal Legend right now because it's the anniversary, than anything about Keeper. Lee Petty made the rounds on some podcasts, which I saw, which if I had known that Keeper was coming out so soon, I maybe would have asked for one of those interviews, but didn't think to.
Holy
because
shit.
I had no idea the Keeper was coming out until like so close to like review copies had already gone out, and I knew that people had Keeper, and I was like, oh shit, Keeper's out. And then wrote to them and said like, can I get a Keeper from you? And they said, oh yeah, sure, here. I'm like, great, okay. And I reviewed it, and that was that. But yeah, it did not feel like there was some big push in the lead up to Keeper. It feels like that they got on their Summer Game Fest, their thing, their stage show, and Keeper was shown there. And I remember looking at it and going like, man, that lighthouse can walk. What the fuck? And then that was kind of it. I don't think I've heard anyone mention Keeper until I realized like, oh God, it's out. It's coming out. It's like 4 days. Like, what the hell? Like, Keeper is almost out. How did that happen? And now it is out. So, I don't know if it got caught up in like, hey, these other games are coming out and there's other announcements, or just like the Microsoft, information communication lanes got clogged with all of this other stuff. But yeah, it really feels like I would not frame it as Keeper was sent out to die. It was more just like Keeper was sent out, and I don't think they ever really spent a lot of time marketing it. And hey, I will grant you that a trippy game about a walking lighthouse is maybe a little difficult to market.
Give me your whip, fool.
But when you've got Microsoft people out there going like, I saw this yesterday. Like, we set a Guinness World Record by taking off in helicopters and projecting Ninja Gaiden 4 onto a big screen between two helicopters. And you're like, what? The fuck are you talking about? It's Ninja Gaiden 4. Like, what? Why did you got helics? Like, in the midst of all of that shit, just be like, what are you even talking about? And then Keeper just off to the side, just kind of shipped. It's a bummer. I don't know. I think Keeper is cool. More people should know about Keeper, and yeah. But yeah, it really feels like that there was no one out there to remind people that Keeper existed, let alone was just about to ship. And I don't think. Sometimes I feel that way, and I catch myself, and I go like, is this just because I am so much better at ignoring marketing, and because I don't see a lot of advertisements for anything anymore? Is this a me thing because I've removed myself from so many different spots where normally I would see ads, and now I do not anymore, and I'm just not seeing ads for Keeper? Like, maybe it's everywhere, and I just don't know. But I've heard this from a handful of people that like, hey, Keeper just existed. It's just like, oh, by the way, Keeper. And yeah, there was a handful of interviews with Lee Petty that went out. They had Tim Schafer giving people demos of the game at Gamescom. And so there were some.
God damn it, dude. Cops everywhere, dude. Just cops everywhere, dude.
Based on seeing the game at Gamescom.
There he goes. Now he's just following me. Now, two more cops. Oh, God.
Pat posted.
Okay. Now everyone's just shooting me.
The Double Fine account on Blue Sky posted, in case you missed it.
It's fucking impossible, dude. There are so many cops. They are fucking impossible to avoid.
It even seems like their account is like, dude.
Hey, and just fucked everything up, dude. Literally made it so much worse. And there they are. Okay, now you guys gone? Are you gone now?
Double Fine has existed. They just hit their anniversary. That's crazy. It's crazy to think.
No, the amount of cops on the street is just insane, dude.
I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense. That was kind of a lot. Good on them. Now I hope they get back to the work that truly matters, and that's Trenched 2, Drenched, the underwater sequel to Trenched. I think that There's a lot of stuff you can do with salutes on the not just the analog triggers, but maybe you could have a 2-part salute that also uses the analog sticks. I just think there's a lot that could still be done there. Just tell Bradmere to stop playing Dota or whatever it is he does for Valve. I think he just is a professional Dota player. I think he won the international last year. Get him back down to the Bay Area. Trenched 2. Or Iron Brigade 2 if you must. But god damn it. Cody from Roswell writes in and says, I was wondering recently about the GameFAQs acquisition. Do you remember the vibe or of it at all from your side? Are there any stories you can tell about those times? As a GameFAQs enjoyer, I remember being pissed, but then again, I was a teenager then. Cody, Cody, I think I've talked about. So this is at some point GameFAQs was acquired by GameSpot. He bought GameFAQs, and I was not directly involved in any of that, but I did have some say, I think, on how some of that went. And the thing I'll say is that I myself, and I was not alone in this, but I don't know, like I think that we were we did not take the GameFAQs community very seriously because their message boards were so bad. But they were bad and well trafficked and well populated, and like the people who used them really liked them. But I think we kind of looked at it as like, ugh. This is like a dumpster. Like, what are we like? And then came the time to like, oh, we've got to merge all these usernames into one account because we would like these people to use GameSpot as well. And at the time, we had to figure out how to merge these two user bases. And like, oh, some of these people have this, like some of these names on one message board are taken over here, and so we did some really careless shit around merging usernames. And people were pissed, and I think eventually changes were made because people were so pissed. But I think we were on our side of things. It was very much like, I don't know, we bought that thing. Like, just fucking change it, whatever. I don't think any of us, at least on the editorial team, I don't know. Like, what was GameFAQs? It was dipshits posting Luigi ASCII over and over again. It was like, fuck this. This is trash. Like, what do we... Like, how many meetings are you going to have about, like, how much to care about these fucking people? Like, what are you doing? That is the wrong approach, to be honest. Like, we should have had a better, stronger community team.
You should have. You should have cared more about your fucking base, bro.
The people that we had doing community on the GameSpot side were busy doing community.
Should have cared a little bit more about your community, bro.
That's all you got.
Had a ton of time to do all of that stuff and care about all of that stuff, but it all kind of got thrown together and dumped in people's laps and whatever else, man. But
Come on, dude.
It was definitely like a, like the facts are what matter. Like, I don't care about like all the esoteric message board rules and all this fucking horse shit. Like, I cannot care, and I cannot be brought to care about any of that. But it was not like I wasn't necessarily.
That was the culture, bro. That was literally the culture.
But when asked about it, when people were like, "Oh, here's what the problem is," I think I was very much in the camp of just like, "Fuck them. Like, what? Who cares? What? Why are you asking this? Who cares?" Careless is how I would put it in some ways, and we should have cared more about it because you buy it for a reason, right? And if you buy it for a reason, and the reason is because it gets a lot of search traffic and forum traffic. I think as I've said before, traffic to message boards is worthless, and it was for years and years by that point. Because no one wants to buy ads on a message board. They wanted to buy display ads on pages that matter. And people posting fucking ASCII Luigi's, no one fucking cares. No one gives a shit. So, And then you get into the other problem of like, oh man, all these game facts exists as text files, and you can't put ads on those either. What have we done? And what we did is we bought a thing, and it's why why websites end up. It's why it ended up being gamefacts.gamespot.com, is because then you can go to ComScore and you can say this is all part of GameSpot, and by buying GameFAQs, and it's artificial, right? But like the traffic to GameSpot suddenly shoots up overnight because suddenly you're redirecting all these people onto a GameSpot.com domain. And that's what it was all about then. It was like trying to get your ComScore number up and all that shit. So that's what they cared about when they bought it, was getting that lift out of it. It wasn't like, oh man, what do the people on the message boards think? It's like, as far as I'm concerned, the people on the message boards were problems, because every time the message boards on GameFAQs were brought up, it was someone saying like, you realize someone's selling drugs on one of these message boards, right? Like, there are a zillion message boards here and we can't possibly police them all. So someone is literally dealing drugs out of the GameFAQs fucking forums. And you're like, what? Shut them the fuck down then. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Again, how much time are we going to waste with this discussion? Like, what are you telling me? Shut it down. And so, yeah, it was just like, it was a bunch of fucking crazy shit like that. That happened multiple times, if I remember correctly, where people had found some, because people would go, because since there was a message board for every single video game in their database, a mistake that giantbomb.com would later make, it was a zillion message boards that no one ever looked at. And so you had people who would go find a game and go like, I'm claiming this message board for myself. And they would start their little clubs on these message boards and never talk about the game. And I think our approach to that was just like, no, like, these posts should be about the game. Like, well, fuck this. Like, this don't, like, if someone ends up on this page and they're looking for help and they just find a bunch of people role playing as fucking robot cats or whatever the fuck's going on here, or selling dope, or like, what the fuck, dude? No.
Community forums.
And so, yeah, I don't know. Like, it was a lot of shit like that. That is my memory of
beautiful girl,
or just like being a part of GameFAQs in general in those early days. And GameFAQs came a long way, and like GameFAQs,
I think so.
Like, dude, like GameFAQs was the most profitable fucking part of the company for a lot of years, because it was
totally
like
loved
two
it.
people. It was like Alan and Jeff just running that whole fucking thing and building it. And
these are the little word graffiti. The enemy,
for years and years.
The
and
other
years and years.
games.
And so,
they've
like,
sprayed
when you
graffiti
think about the
all
money
over
that
the
was spent
town.
on maintaining it,
See these different. See, the green is my territory. No, my game's territory. But when I started, I only had this little bit right here.
And so, yeah, I don't
and
know.
then so I'm finding all their
go, like,
tags.
okay, we're going to
all
embed
tags,
these text files in a wrapper,
and taking
so
back. I'm covering their tags with my tag with the spray paint.
You know, they modified the site in ways that made it able to monetize a little bit better.
I just did one. Where'd it go? It was right there. See it?
And now I can't imagine that anyone cares
so
about it.
I go to the tag,
fandom is going to do with it,
and then I cover it
until they find someone
with my gang, and then I take the see how it's green? See how it's yellow next to me? They still own that. Another gang owns that piece.
To trash it.
So that's I go over there and I look for. I find the tag. Oh. Cops are on me, bro.
The fandom.
The big bird, ghetto birds following me.
It's a chopper, Dad.
Yeah, the chopper. The chopper's on me, bro. Look at him. Look at him. He can't catch CJ, bro. CJ's great.
It'll suck forever.
Look, see, I got a roof on top of me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened already. It seems like the type of disaster bullshit.
So, but yeah, that's what I'm doing now. And then once I get my territory taken back, I'm gonna go down here. This is my brother's house.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right there. He just got out of jail.
Oh.
That's why I'm taking back the territory. My brother got out of jail, and he said, "I abandoned, where we grew up, the neighborhood. I abandoned the neighborhood."
Is Microsoft pulling a Sega right now? With hardware price
so then
increases,
I've gone back and started covering up
from retail stores,
trying to clean up, killing all the drug dealers. Killing all the drug dealers.
Public approval seems like it's an
all-time low for them.
Beyond public opinion, they've set themselves to be arguably the least financially viable choice for console gaming.
All this green, I've gotten. See all the green?
Do you think they'll get to the other side of this and have another generation of consoles? And do you think they care?
So.
Phil Bosch in the chat says, "My Series X does feel like an urn." Yeah. Fair enough.
Falling down.
Pour ashes in the. Do not
have to
into
fix
the
it.
Top of your Series
That's
X.
part of the process.
No. Is Xbox the console dying? Sure, I guess. Is console as a concept going through something right now?
Watch him
Overall,
do damage control for Microsoft.
Are we going to have to rethink a lot of this stuff from the ground up?
And I think it's the American thing. I just think he's tied into
in so many different ways.
American technology.
To go,
he can't help. He's a white guy. He's an American. He grew up, so he just
that's why they have
wants to see an American company in the console in the video game business.
What they view as their new direction.
I'm like, fuck, sorry, they killed themselves, dude.
So we have this handheld.
Microsoft had fucking Halo. Anyways, they killed themselves because they're greedy white boys.
Here's what it means.
They can't do anything except buy other people's shit
really, it's just
and slowly fucking destroy it and take profits. As they slowly gut the fucking thing, dude. And everybody called that years ago, Jeff, when they got into the business. We told you exactly what was going to fucking happen, dude. They were only putting money in so they could take more out.
It's plenty powerful. It is not as powerful.
It's called an investment. They invested some money and now they're trying to get as much out as they can before they just completely destroy the market, dude. They're not in it for a sustainable.
Really did a number on, like Microsoft loved to say, like, oh, actually, the people who subscribe to Game Pass buy more.
I know,
games,
I'm just
ranting.
ranting.
I don't think that necessarily stuck
just like
with
just the shit happened exactly as predicted, and he still can't admit. Yeah, Microsoft is just a bad corporate culture, dude.
You get people who go buy a Series S.
Whatever is at Microsoft. And then they never buy these companies get these corporate bros in there, dude, and they can't make a car, Jeff. They can't make a fucking phone, Jeff.
To make it for Xbox, and that's why
they can't build anything, Jeff.
Per se, but
the only thing they can do is deconstruct things and take profit. Like anyway,
and his reporting on it has heard from at least one.
So not getting pissy, but he's sitting there in the shambles of
I think we're going to make games for Xbox.
But fuck it, he don't care. He's got his NES, right?
Xbox, because we're just not seeing the sales there anymore.
Fuck, dude.
In terms of like, you can talk about
still going to carry water for Microsoft. Do damage control. Do damage control. Do damage. Okay, dude. Go ahead.
And
go ahead, dude.
The vast majority of your copies are moving on PlayStation compared to other consoles.
Just like that, they had a vibrant community, and they just shit on it because Jeff thought they were all pieces of shit.
Money it takes to port this game to Xbox.
They were all pieces. They weren't worth their time. Well, that's.
Are we making our money back on these Xbox
comic books and video games, dude? That's your fucking fan base, bro.
No one has really pulled the trigger on walking away from it completely.
Your fan base isn't.
You have some Japanese developers that never really got there in the first place.
Have you ever been to a fucking football game?
Game Pass money involved, which led to a situation.
Have you ever been to a fucking NFL football game and see who likes football?
Because they knew if they did so, eventually Microsoft would show
up. Yeah, you don't hear football officials like totally shitting on football fans, dude.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yes, Persona will come
and degrading them and fucking. Anyways, it's weird. It's a bit. Video games do not like people,
and so I think you had Japanese publishers that would kind of
something. It's just something, dude.
Be able to exploit that situation.
They don't want to share. People who like video games, I don't know. They're hyper competitive, maybe, or.
Yeah. And get money out of them
into their personalities. Fuck,
right?
Dude.
So
Jeff still can't admit that Microsoft is a piece of shit,
right? For development on that console,
for some reason, he just can't admit
different little stories like
that Microsoft is a bad fucking company, dude.
Like maybe it's not worth it for some of these companies to put their game out on Xbox at all. I don't know. Fighting games traditionally do better on PlayStation and Xbox.
Just
so
weird
I don't know what the numbers were. I don't know if the business backs this up. It's a large enough franchise.
No matter how many facts you give them, no matter how much evidence you give them, they will still find a way to be like,
Street Fighter.
Well, no, just shit happens.
Here's a much larger question. Did they put Street Fighter on Xbox? I assume they did.
Nobody's really guilty.
Yes, they did.
Somehow the CIA was shipping in drugs, dude. The CIA isn't evil,
thinking about it. I was like, oh, maybe.
And they will. They'll sit there and make every fucking excuse, every defense.
Street Fighter 6 on an Xbox for $40, or the
people make mistakes sometimes.
DLC for $60.
It's unfortunate.
But Street Fighter 5 did not come to Xbox because Sony funded it. It's the same reason that
how wrong
the Tokon Marvel thing will probably never come to Xbox, is because it is a Sony funded project.
You just enjoy being wrong. at this point.
And
That's all
I
anybody can say.
I kind of
I
do
guess
wonder, you know,
they just
do you
enjoy
think-
being fucking wrong, dude.
do you think the Xbox version of Street Fighter 6 sold well enough to warrant that development? It's Street Fighter, so you would assume so, that it's, you know, the sales are such that it's gonna
Ninja
it's gonna break
Gaiden
through
4.
and
Who
make its money
gives
back
a
and
fuck?
whatever else. But I don't,
Nobody.
you know, but those are the sorts of questions that I think that like people are running into, especially with some smaller games and what have you, like what's going on, and that's been going around for a while, just kind of swirling around Xbox conceptually. But I don't think we should be eulogizing Xbox, because I think they're just transitioning into another phase of existence. They're going to the farm upstate. No, they're going to try this PC thing. They've signaled enough times that the future of Xbox is on an open machine, and now we have in our hands the first example of a partnership around that. Like I said, I think that the Xbox Ally X is a pretty shitty first step when it comes to making Windows into something that is more console-like. I don't think they did a good job. But also, I think I have to imagine that they know that. And I have to imagine that they know that there's a ton of work for them to do in order to get that to the place it needs to be. For them to eventually sell a console that hooks up to a television that is also using some of these same concepts of creating an open machine and using AMD hardware to do so. And, you know, if they're going to let people run Steam on a console, on a television device, I don't even know what to call it, because console has such a specific definition, I feel like, right now. But I think we will get to a point where that definition, much like this is an Xbox and this isn't an Xbox and all
Why
this other
the
stuff,
fuck would
is
Microsoft
a fuzzy,
not?
strange thing. Like, right now it's all still new. If they get all their ducks in a row and they actually fucking nail it, like, then you know, I think that it's the difference. As I've said before, this is the difference between, are they getting out of a race early because they've lost, or are they getting out of a race early because they are racing to what they think the next battlefield is? You know? And if they think that the future of it is going to be these open PCs and that everyone's going to kind of move in that direction,
found a turn,
and
huh?
that maybe Sony will eventually be caught out there if they ship a closed system the way they always have, because suddenly the next PlayStation will not be as capable. Except that most games get ported to PlayStation anyway, so maybe that's not that big of a deal. I don't know where you end up with that. Again, I think that they're making these choices because it makes sense for them to make them, because the Xbox, the Series X console is, if not at the end of its rope, it is just about there, right? You know, we were 2 years out from new consoles, just about, if the talk is to be believed. They've, you know, they have not broken the PlayStation's stronghold on the console business, certainly not the Switches. And so they need to change it up. They need to be much like when they launched Game Pass. They need to start figuring out what the real fight is and start the new fight for market share, for whatever else. And it doesn't always have to be a fight. It's like they just need to figure out, like, what's a thing that people might fucking want. And that will reconfigure many parts of their business, right? Around, like, where do they get the 30%? How do they get their cut of, you know, like, if I buy an Xbox, whatever the next Xbox is, if I go and buy it and I hook it up to my television and then immediately install Steam on it and never look back, what does that mean? Do they lose money on that device, or do they charge so much money for them so is that they're, if they realize, like, oh, we may never make our money back on the 30% of software sales or whatever, so if we're not going to do that, then we need to charge an amount of money for this hardware to make sure that we get it there. So will those things be super expensive? You know, there's a lot of ins and outs that I don't even think they have, like, firm answers to right now, because they don't quite have to have those answers today. But they need to figure it out. I look at it more like that than about, like, the eulogy or the end of Xbox or what have you, right? It's Or
you do, bro.
I think no matter what happens, Microsoft will still be involved in games. You know, they still make DirectX. They still, like, make technology that game developers have to use to make games. in Windows or otherwise. And so the presence of an Xbox as a closed platform console hardware, blah, 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 that doesn't matter so much. In the grand corporate scheme of things, Microsoft is never going to be completely out of the gaming business. They're never going to completely run away and just go, all right, Windows is just for spreadsheets now and nothing else. Fuck off. Like, that's not feasible, right? And I think it would be hugely negative to the game business if they, for some reason, decided that, right? If they went tomorrow like, hey, Windows 11, much like Windows 10 is now done, Windows 11 is now done, and Windows 12 doesn't do any of this shit. Which, man, maybe they would...
What the fuck is happening, dude?
Shipping ARM devices now, I guess.
What the...
And, I don't know what the long term of that shit really ends up being, you know, but it would be bad. It would be bad for Valve. Like if Microsoft woke up tomorrow and said, yeah, fuck games. You know, that would be bad for everyone involved in
dude,
games,
what
you know?
the fuck?
Let's see here. Alex from Lowell. You've talked about how games should, specifically in the AAA space, think about scaling back to help lower the cost of development, but also shorten development time. Often I hear games that have scaled back to being described as PS2-esque.
This is bullshit, bro.
Meaning it's complete
this is bullshit,
and the gameplay
bro.
wastes
Fuck
no time
you guys.
getting you right into the action.
Take your time getting back.
developers scaling back and aiming for that PS2 vibe? Or more importantly, will the general gaming audience accept these similar experiences?
Sorry, dude. This fucking bullshit, dude. Fucking run all the way across the map, dude. What the fuck? I can't even see you, dude. You're not even
public accept scaled back video games?
No.
That's an interesting question. I think that's something that no one really has the answer to that right now, because I think that is wrapped up in price. If the next Last of Us game came out and it was a third of the length of other Last of Us games, but still cost full price, what impact would that have on the sales numbers for that game? Also, remember that a lot of those games they made the assets for it, and stretching the game out to 20 hours instead of 5 or 10 or whatever.
It's just weird,
There are assets that they get to use again. There are things that, you know, like they're coming up with new twists on things, and there are new tile sets, there's new environments that need to be made, and biomes, what have you.
Dude.
But the engine is already done, and so
this is
I don't
weird,
think the
dude.
cost is necessarily completely wrapped up in, depending on the game, right? But the costs aren't always wrapped up in the length of the game.
This is weird.
And so it does become a question of like the scale and scope of a game. Like, hey, this game has fewer set pieces. It has fewer crazy one-off moments of like, oh God, this building collapsed and now I'm running through it because it was really expensive to make that sequence. And so, do we end up with games that just don't change up enough over their length? Because that would, I think, be a problem, right? Yakuza does a great job. The Like a Dragon games do a great job of like, hey, we're going to use this whole ass environment because it's the same city, goddammit, and we redecorated it because it's the 80s, or, like whatever, right? They do a fantastic job of that, and Spider-Man used some of the similar like New York stuff between like, was it 1 and Miles Morales? Certainly, but like, didn't 2 also use similar layouts? Because at the end of the day, it's all New York, right? So yeah, I think that there are a lot of different ways to tackle that question, but some of the ways you would tackle that question impact the games more than others. And it's not as simple as just like, we made a shorter game, thus it costs less. Like, yeah, you'll have fewer voice lines, I guess, if you make a shorter game, right? You'll have, there are a handful of things that change when you just don't have as many of a thing, but you still have to make the engine, you still have to optimize the engine, you still have to have graphical bells and whistles. If you're asking me like, hey, what if games just looked worse? and they didn't spend as much time taking advantage of all of the, the reflective puddles or, whatever horse shit, right? Maybe that saves you some time because you have to optimize a little less because you're not pushing the system as much, and maybe that saves you some time there, as well as some time making those effects. Ray tracing in some ways is supposed to make that stuff, easier for developers to implement, right? Because ray tracing is just a concept of like, oh man, the rays trace, they do what they're supposed to do because it's like light, dog. Yo, man, it's like light. You know how light works? We kind of made that. As opposed to having someone sit down and go, okay, we're going to manually light this entire scene, and we have artists that come in and make sure the lighting is this and that. And, like that's, there's maybe cost differences there. But I think if you go too hard into smaller experiences and you keep charging full price for them, I think that ship has largely sailed. It would take a lot to get consumers to, I think, accept that. But if you were to go like, oh, and some of this is stuff that like, as the kind of NVIDIA, texture compression and some of the other stuff that they can kind of do on the fly here, like if you're able to generate your textures at a lower resolution because you know that the magic of DLSS is going to just sharpen them up for you, then maybe you don't have to spend as much time making incredibly high-res textures, right? Different games are going to have different issues, though, right? I mean, different engines, different everything. So, I don't think there's like a one-size-fits-all way to describe this. Because things that might save one game a lot of money might not touch another game's budget at all. So it's a hard problem from that perspective. But a lot of it does just come down to, can you just downscale? Yeah, downscaling. Can you just make a game at a somewhat lower fidelity, maybe fewer kind of bespoke
up top here, huh?
moments that require you to make a bunch of do a bunch of high fucking intense work on a scene that lasts 4 minutes. Like, we spent all this time on this truck sequence and this on Nathan Drake on this train costs fucking 80% of our budget because of how crazy it is, whatever it is. But like, could you do less of that? Maybe.
I like to share too. Thank you.
That's going to do it for the show. Thanks, everybody, for writing in. podcast@guard.bike is the email address. So come on through, send me an email, and we'll talk next week. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do something with some video games. We'll do we'll hang out on a Wednesday and see some video games or something. Maybe play some Ninja Gaiden 4. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, for here, for now. And I will see you soon. Bye.
Killing you with It's the best you got.
Come on, dude. Fuck you. Oh, the car's just fucking skipping. Just gliding across the ground, dude. Oh my god. Okay, guys. Yep. Come on. Come on. Figure it out, please. Please figure it out. Come on. Figure it out. No, I'm totally broken. The game is totally fucking broken me. I just kind of cruise like a grandpa. Just kind of cruise like this. I'll get there. Like, no, I'm just so tired of hitting other cars. Just so you can't fucking avoid it. Oh yeah, I am GTA broken. Or you just got to get used to slamming into other cars. But just once you start doing that, what am I even doing, dude? Yeah. It's like you want me to be realistic and then not real. I can't do it. There's too much switching back and forth. First, and now a cop. Now a cop. Now a cop.
Oh, you're too kind.
The cop got off me, thankfully.
You don't need it now.
My brain won't remember it that way for some reason.
You happy now?
Come on, dude. Stop.
I'm having this.
Where are you gonna go?
Shit.
And every time you jack your car, there's a car behind you. It's like 95%. It's got to be close to 95%. See, I'm done. I'm done. Been playing too long. Let's go. Let's go take a break. Let's turn this shit off. We're done. Patience level is fucking done. Patience level is fucking kaput, dude. Kaput. Patience level is totally fucking kaput. Let's just take a break here. Let's get off this motherfucker. We played plenty. Alright, boom, boom. It was good. Let's take a break. Just can't take it anymore. I can't take driving in the streets, dude. I can't take intersections just clogging, magically just clogging the fuck up. I can't take no cars on the road all of a sudden when it's too much, dude. It's too obvious. He pokes his head out. The programmer, I can see the fucking architect all the time, dude. And it's just like, God damn, man. Seriously, the architect just rears his ugly head, dude. Like, hello.